Good evening. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. Lovely to see you all. It's been a while. It's been probably a month or so since the last stream, and we are here to finally wish FM24 goodbye. I've got an absolutely fabulous evening, hopefully, ahead for tonight. We've got some fantastic players from amongst the community, all vying head to head to be the greatest, or maybe not greatest, maybe that's overstating it, the last FM24 competition champion within the confines of this community, because I'm sure plenty of people will carry on playing it. There are far too many disclaimers there. Anyway, how is everyone? It is lovely to see you all, and we have some beautiful, wonderful people in here. Now, whilst I'm going to say good evening to people properly, I do just need to do a couple of little bits over on Discord for the arranging things. Zeratrul, if you're in, you're going to see the chat anyway, but if you could ping those guys over the details as well. Let me do that bit there. So yeah, we have Coritiba in. Welcome in, Coritiba, over in cold Brazil, just a cool 20 degrees centigrade. That, by my reckoning, is rather warm, but I get it. I completely get it. We have Rich in as well. How are you doing, sir? I mean, as I mentioned in chat a little bit earlier, I've not really followed the results today. Did Sunderland hold on? Last I saw, they were 1-0 up, and this has been an incredible start to the season. You must be excited by that so far. We've got the wonderful G&G, and welcome in, G&G, all the way from the Emerald Isles. Lovely to see you, my dude. Now, if you guys haven't checked out G&G, go give him a follow. Absolutely sensational. I'm talking with great creators. We've also got a little bit of Brazilian Fury in, currently in the midst of editing. We're trying to get him involved. In this tonight, but has more than enough on his plate. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you doing? And now we've got a couple of the competitors are in. We've got Combative Skipper, who's going to be taking part, which is absolutely sensational. Brilliant stuff. Let me just see there. Sorry, bear me one moment. Oh, so I meant. So just arriving there. Beautiful. Cool there. We've got Matt in over on YouTube. Welcome in, Matt. Welcome in, B as well, and Cyril. Lovely to see you all. We've got the Mad Scientist in as well. How are you doing, sir? Lovely to have you around. You all excited for FM26? That extends to all of you, because we are hopefully. I mean, I'm guessing maybe next week, maybe the week after. We don't know. We don't have a set date for the advanced access beta just yet, but the suggestions are from Sports Interactive's most recent tweet on the matter that next week we will find out the date, that it's close. Which is beautiful there. So I am still going to be carrying doing just a little bit of admin there, which is fabulous. So let's see. Sunderland were a bit lucky today. A keeper error and an own goal got us very important 3 points against Wolves. I mean, that is good to hear. I mean, Wolves have Wolves won a game yet this season? Do they? I seem to feel like they might only have 1 point or something, which is quite incredibly bad. Surely Pereira is not going to be in the job for much longer. Welcome in, by the way, Apex ECL? E-Cluck? I'm going for Apex ECI UK. Lovely to see you, my dude. So we've kind of closed off registration now, I'm afraid. So it is closed off, but there's going to be a wonderful tournament, hopefully. And we also have the medical car in. Welcome in, my dude. Medical car is going to be taking part. We've got some glorious people. We have those that you might recognize from the chat previously. We have Zeratrul, obviously over streaming. You should see him linked in the stream description there, so do go check him out. We have Mr. Grizzly taking part. We have Combative Skip, we've got Emerson in. We've got Char. We're all familiar with Char. We've got Mr. Ticky Press in, and we've got the medical car. Should be an absolute treat tonight. Now, we will be explaining, once the tournament is all set up and going, we're going to introduce you to the teams. Now, down in the bottom corner, nope, that way. I can't work out how to point. There we go. In the bottom corner, there is just like a little bit of a summary as to what the teams are. We put Zerachul and myself, we went through, we organised all the players. We analysed them using their attributes to give them a role rating. And then we said top 10% of players, absolutely ignored. The next set down will then be the squad of players, but we will add 2 star players to each team. Now, every team has a theme. Some of them are more ridiculous than the others. Right now, down in that bottom corner, we have the mechanics. They are all players from the Balkans, apart from when Zerachul decided to add some Brazilians and some Englishmen in there. But geography is not his strong point, bless him. I will be taking charge of the banker's hand, which is the exceptionally abstract players that I think would cheat at board games. Why not? Why not? It is completely subjective, a little bit silly, a little bit daft. But that's what we should be going for the end of this, for the end of the FM24 cycle, right? It's a BBC Live report that Wolves the only side in top 5 divisions yet to win. That is obscene. It is absolutely obscene. I mean, Pereira did a brilliant job of saving them last season. Things did look a little bit bleak for them. He rallied them round in those first few months, and that's really, really encouraging. But yeah, that's not great. That is not great at all. Mönchengladbach haven't won in the Bundesliga yet, really. Now that is quite something. Blue Lions attributes indeed. I mean, we're going to have to get used to it. We're going to have to get used to it. What we do know about, well, what we think we know about FM26 is from that Korean interview that suggested that skinning would not be possible, or not at least initially when the game comes out. And so we may all have to be dealing with attributes in the new era. Although you can do that whole alpha thing, can't you? You change the colours and preferences and you put the alpha down to 0 so they become invisible. So maybe there'll be a way to play without attributes at all. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And G&G tells us that Piastri hit Norris turn 1. Oh my, I mean, that is revenge, right? That's got to be revenge. It's been twice now that Norris has I say gotten away with hitting Piastri. He got away with it in the last race. He didn't get away with it in, was it Australia? Earlier this season, because Norris did have to retire. So, you know, he lost out in the end. But that does feel contextually like it might be a little bit of revenge from Piastri there. So Mr. Grizzly says, thanks for giving the player with the highest CA. I can't wait to be humiliated. Oh, Grizzly, you will be all good. It will be all good. So Mr. Grizzly is going to be taking charge of Beckham's Diploma. Beckham's Diploma is a team full of players who had the lowest decision-making attributes. Now, naturally, if they're going to score well for the roles, that means that they have a lot of strengths in other areas. He's got quite a bit of pace in his team. And we have balanced it out by giving him 2 star players who are quite intelligent. He's got Kevin De Bruyne. He's got Virgil van Dijk. It's going to be an absolutely cracking team. So Hulk hit Piastri first, then into Norris. Both McLarens out. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that is brilliant. Right, bear me one moment. I didn't manage to mute the microphone in time. I do apologise. I thought I'd managed to just about reach it, and I hadn't. Oops. So that's cool. So I think. Let me say. Right, we're 10 minutes in. We've got a couple of people that haven't made it in, but I think we should be good to start. It's now. So the way it's going to work is this is going to just be a straight league. We're going to play each team once. So there are 8 of us in. So there'll be 7 games to kind of crown the winner, which should be quite nice. We're going to have a little bit of time. So many of us haven't really seen our teams prior to now, and we are in. So let's head on over the action, shall we? So we have some duplicate teams. Everyone was given a list of names that they could pick from, and it was well open to people picking the same teams. Every squad has 30 players, so people will have different interpretations of what to do, and hopefully we should see some different teams. Now, we will go through and have a look at these teams as we go through the start there, and I can talk a little bit more about what those were. And yes, Coritiba, I should absolutely point out that we've got some clues down at the bottom. Down there? No, that way. I still can't work out my left and right on OBS with the thing there. There is a chance for someone tonight to win a free copy of FM26. but I don't like to make it easy, naturally. So we have 4 clues there. Each clue reveals a different player. If you type the player's full name into chat and it's correct, it will reveal that you've got it correct. I am looking for a 5th player. I am looking for a player that connects all 4 of those answers. The first person to get that will win themselves a free copy of FM26. Nice and straightforward. So that's something for you to work away at in the background as we go on. Let's go on over and introduce the teams. So, actually, we can do this. We can do this from here. We'll finish off with us right at the end there. So we've got LG season. Sakura Tiba. Are all the clues about the same guy? No. So the clues are about 4 entirely different players. All of those players, different ones, and then the 4 answers. We have 1 player that connects them. So I hope that makes sense. Welcome in, by the way, Showerlander. Thank you very much for the resubscription. You will have noticed the layout has changed a little bit here, and I am still in the middle of setting up. So sadly, we have no Ray Hudson. We have none of the soundboard on OBS stopped working when I tried to load up earlier as well. So I have no goal celebrations, which leaves me feeling a little bit sad, but that's the way it is. Anyway, let's introduce you to allergy season. Allergy season is so called because when you get allergies, your nose goes all dribbly. This is a connection of dribbly boys. We've got players like Pedri. We've got players like Kvaratskhelia. We've got players like Noah Okafor, who for like a bigger guy is reasonably dribbly. Same with Tyrell Awoniyi. As a bigger guy, he's quite dribbly. But then we've got Boulaye Dia, we've got Dennis Johnson, who's very dribbly, we've got Nonu Madueke. So these should be some interesting, quite some fun players to put together, and be interesting to see what we've got there. Then down we've got Beckham's Diploma. I've introduced Beckham's Diploma a little bit more. These are players with the lowest decision-making attributes. Now, a reminder, this is players that are like 90th percentile based on their attributes and down. So they're all still going to be very, very good players. Players like Ernest Nuama, it's only a 10 at decision, so it's not as if they're going to be truly, truly awful. They're just not necessarily going to be elite decision makers. Jerry Menez, there's in as a 9. Matches Cunha, I think, is an 8. He is indeed an 8. Iliman Giai at 11 is perhaps one of the smarter players in the teams. Enzo Crivelli, however. Now, Enzo Crivelli, when I was doing all the Moneyball Clinic stuff, we were running all those simulations. Enzo Crivelli in the top 30 leagues was the most prolific striker in the game. Playing in the Swiss league, it is worth noting, he's not playing right at the top level, but Crivelli is a sensational player. Absolutely sensational player. Now, as we said, so for Mr. Grizzly here, he's going to have players like Holmgren Pedersen. He's not smart, but he is quick. And that's obviously going to, generally speaking, quite useful at this level. So I think that Grizzly is going to do well there. Then we've got the Banker's Hand. That's my team. So we'll come back to that in the end. We have the Dutch. And sadly, Zelchul won't be in the chat here because he's over on his channel streaming. And do go check him out. Do absolutely go and check out his channel and see what's going. He named the Dutch. And they are named because they all have low heading. Bit weird there. So the star players are Angel Di Maria with 5 for heading, and Luis Alberto with 6 for heading. But they've got a midfield. They're protecting the back of their midfield is going to be tricky. Coke is probably one of the better with 9 there. Enzo Loidis with a 5. We've got Siopis with a 7. Now, again, these are still players who are reasonably good. So in defence, you are going to have your 14s. You're going to have your 13s. Oh, no, Lukumi is 12. Antonio Silva is a 13. Josip Schuttler is a 14. So they're not completely diminutive. Just they might lack a little bit compared to the other teams out there. So Scribes, with some fabulous work there, has correctly identified the first clue. Well done, Scribes. That is indeed Maxi Lopez. The most amount of Lopez you could possibly have. So now we have two managers with the Dutch which is going to be cool. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how they approach it. I say there's a very wide selection of players in these squads, so they can take it in any direction they want. Should be able to make some use of it. Now the mechanics, we've got 2 managers managing the mechanics as well, and they are a team full of players from the Balkan regions, plus some players not from the Balkan regions, because Zerachel couldn't find enough players to make up the full 40 squad. So we've got Ghana's Joseph Pansel. My favourite part of the Balkans has to be Northern Ireland. Johnny Evans right at the back there. We've got Gjerdy Shurton as well. So there are a few players that don't necessarily meet the criteria there, but this is a good squad. You've got Edin Dzeko as one of the stars. He might be 37, but look at that. 18 jumping reach, 17 heading reach. We've got Benjamin Šeško. Everyone knows how good Šeško is in this game. This is going to be a very, very good team. They've got Luka Modric as well, which is quite nice there. All of our teams are a little bit weak defensively, I would say. And so we've got the 2 versions of the mechanics, and now we've got Zerachel. So I chose Zerachel's team. Zerachel put together the team. I chose from the remaining ones left. The Pillagers are Scandinavian players, but it was put together by Zerachel, so it's Scandinavian players that also happens to include Spanish players and Brazilian players and more Brazilian players and more Brazilian players, and the Nigerian. I love you, Zerachel, but God, geography is not your strong suit. But it does mean that they're going to have players like Vetlerson, Boving, Lindstrom, Goodmanson, good players, but not necessarily great players. And you guys are absolutely cracking through this. We've got Kevin Prince Boateng. Beautiful stuff, picking out the Palermo clue there. We've got Luca Toni as well. What was my hint for Luca Toni? Let me enlarge that one. I should remember these, but like Luca Toni's played for so many teams. Now he was the Palermo. Prince Boateng was the Las Palmas one. Sensational stuff. So we are looking. The winner of a copy of FM26 will be the person that correctly works out who connects all the clues. And I think that brings us back around to the top. So we can finally take a look at our squad here. This is the Banker's Hand, named because I think these are all people that would cheat at Monopoly. There were some obvious choices in here, right? Sandro Tonali. He's a cheat. I mean, he got suspended for gambling, for cheating the odds there. Obviously, he's going to be in there. Jack Grealish is one of our star players because he's a cheeky chappy. Of course, he cheats at Monopoly. And there were some that might be a little bit more controversial, I suppose. I mean, Socrates, he's just a dirty player, right? And dirty players are always going to cheat. Marcus Alonso should be in prison. That's why he's in here. I don't know how. Oh, I was like Golovan. Obviously, there's rumours about him doping. If Mudryk was in our list, potentially he could have been in there. But Leandro Trossard, I know that we don't have the face packs in versus mode, but Leandro Trossard just has that face that makes me think he's up to something sneaky. And Chris Wood absolutely cheats. Like there is no doubt about it at all. And there we go, Scribe, sensational work you've picked up on Wilfred Boomer. 1 goal for Aston Villa. Sensational stuff. So we are now looking for one player to connect those 4 to win a copy of FM26. So this is our team. We've got some okay defenders. I think Garcia's all right. It's a little bit undersized. Tarkovsky's a very good defender. I feel quite comfortable with him at the back there. I don't like my right backs. Matty Cash. Oh, there we go. Slowed it up there. Matty Cash can't mark. Alan Yom, it's just kind of a little bit meh. And Matt Doherty, like they're perfectly fine. On the left, though, I have Nuno Mendes. That's quite exciting. We've got Chouameni. Chouameni's a quality player. I think we can build around that. Tonali and Guendouzi, wonderful. Up front, obviously, we're going to be making the most out of Jack Grealish. That's like a given, right? We've got Shaqiri. That's quite fun. Well, I think we've got things we can do. And so I did have a little bit of a look, just genuinely only a little while before we started up this stream. And I think, is it going to be that one? No, it's the other one. I think we're going to start with this, which is what I'm going to call, what I've politely called the tactical style of nonsense. Yes, we're going to have a high press. We're going to roll it out. We're going to counter press. We're going to play at a higher tempo. We're going to play wide rather than narrow. We're going to look at overlapping on the right, not the left. And we're going to look to whip those crosses in. So I think depending, if we put Chris Wood up front, we'll change that to a target forward. If we play with Santi Jimenez up front, he'll be a complete forward. If we play with Gennaro Tatuno, maybe we'd use him as a deep line forward or a false 9. Potentially his 15 passing is quite good. But the key thing is going to be having Nuno Mendes there and my boy Jackie Grealish doing that bit there. The right backs, they're all much for muchness. I mean, yeah, they're all 2.5 stars. I think we'd probably give Doherty the start there. Do I have any left-footed wingers? I suppose Jared Bowen can do that. I think he likes to cut inside just from the right wing. Reasonable pace. Yeah, that seemed safe there. Now, what, Tonali as the playmaker? Or Tchouameni, I think, is a better passer, better vision. Doesn't dictate tempo. Or Guendouzi, I think, is quite good passer. When it comes deep, dictates tempo. Good vision, decent flair. So, right, we'd probably go Guendouzi, Tchouameni. It's waiting for me to continue. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. So Blue Lines has suggested that it could have been Ronaldinho. It is not Ronaldinho connecting them, I'm afraid to say. So we went with Regent Street. That's what we're looking at. And that's reset all those. If I quick pick, what does it do here? So that's not too far off. Let's clear the subs. And I was going to say Guendouzi in there. I wanted... Where's Bowen? Bowen, give me Bowen. Oh, Bowen's up front in this situation. No, so we're going Wood here. We'll play him as a target forward. Bowen out wide there. Jackie Grealish as my trequartista. Centre backs, I think Garcia's passing is decent, isn't it? So Garcia, Tarkowski out on the left there. And then the 9 subs will have Ahmedžić in the bench. We will have these two on, Tonali, Goretzka, and then our attacking options will be Shaqiri, Somerville for pace, and Jimenez there. And we are going to be playing up against Medical Car first. This should be beautiful. This should be beautiful. So good luck. Good luck, sire. Let's set piece routines. We're going to say a hybrid. We're going to pop someone on the near post. We're going to be balanced. We're going to deliver it to the middle rather than the near post. We're going to be balanced. And we want an in-swinger. Looking that nice and good. So what I would say is it is not Lionel Messi, I'm afraid. It does require the player's full name, as we've had with the previous one. So we've had Maxi Lopez, Kevin Prince Boateng, Luca Toni, Wilfried Boomer. You will need to put in the full names of the players there. But I would be willing to go so far as to say congratulations to Scribes. I will mark that up as you have won yourself a copy of FM26. What I will ask you to do is send me a whisper. There we go. Right. Take off that part of the sentence and just write just the name, and it will mark it all up. There we go. Yes, congratulations, Scribes. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So yeah, if you want to send me a DM via Discord or a whisper here on Twitch, I will then go about sorting out getting the codes over to you. Obviously, that's going to happen, I'd say after the stream, might well be tomorrow morning, depending on how late this goes and how much I end up going straight to bed afterwards. But a massive congratulations, Sal. Well done. I mean, you did as well get 2 of the four clues as well. So you'd really done the work, which was beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yeah, absolutely sensational. And so, I mean, this is going to be the thing, right? We've now had quite a bit of news about FM26. We know about the new tactical system. We know about the new graphics engine. We know about women's football. We know about the new user interface. We know about the new transfer system. We've heard that international football will be returning later in the cycle, fully licensed with FIFA. What things are you still wanting to find out about? You know, we're what? Maybe a week away, maybe a little bit longer than a week away. We don't really know what's going on there. But what information have you been hoping to kind of hear about? Put that down right there. You know, there must be things. I know some people were talking about the Your Manager section and manager creation. We've seen a few little bits of leaks maybe surrounding that earlier on today. I'm very interested in the data side of things. I'm very, very keen to see what's going to happen with the data hub. Do we get any expansions in that area? We know the chalkboard, or we think that the chalkboard pitch is going to be missing. So have they replaced some of that information in different ways? But yeah, what areas are you looking forward to finding out more about? What are the first things that you're going to sink your teeth into when the game does come out, if you are going to get it? And Sky says you are arming and arming about getting the game. Perfect. You will now. You don't even need to contemplate it now. That is a problem solved. Welcome in, by the way, Yo Booty. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for the follow. Now, and the same question to you. I don't know if you've got that. What are you looking forward to with FM26? And Rich says, you think SI have covered it, to be honest? Going forward, you'd like to see data more integrated in the game, but I think that's for the future. Fair enough. So not as pressing a need for it to be there right away, which is fair enough. I think that I hope, I mean, my main hope is that they at least preserve what we've had prior to now. It'd be very, very nice to have the ability to do the same things. Maybe we won't be able to go quite so granular. You know, they did say the chalkboard pitch wasn't used by that many people, and you know, whether it was really that useful being able to see exactly all the progressive passes, I don't know. But I quite enjoy doing that. But I do think that surely data has got to be more integrated. It's the direction that a lot of football conversations are going at. So, you know, it only seems reasonable that we push in that direction, right? Medical cart when draft mode is added, that's the thing you're interested in. That's a very fair point. It'd be interesting to see whether that's slated for being released during the FM26 cycle. Now, people have put 2 and 2 together and suggested that the FIFA licensing may be slightly related to the existence of the FIFA E-World Cup that happened last year. I mean, it's just over a year ago now. And so if there are plans to continue that partnership, you would imagine there needs to be some form of competitive mode, whether that's draft mode, whether that's something else in the game. So definitely going to be keen to see what goes on in that regard. So Yo Booty, everything you haven't played FM24 for a month now, and the itch for the new one is incredible. Hopefully not too long now. So Rich says, I feel on the forums a lack of recognition. There were already huge changes in FM26. There's only so much SI can do. That is a very, very fair point. I mean, I think that like just the tactical changes alone is really, really significant. You know, I know there are people saying, but it's still the same match engine under the hood. And like, even if you were to rebuild, like, how much of the match engine would be exactly the same even if you were to rebuild it from scratch? Now, when someone says it's barely changed, I mean, I imagine that the change to just 1% of it makes a massive, massive difference, which is why balancing it has been very, very tricky over the course of the years. Because, you know, when you build something, you still need to define what a pitch is and what a player is and what a ball is and what the aim of it is to do. And you still have to program how players look and receive and touch and make decisions and all that kind of, like, even if you were to rebuild it from scratch, I reckon 98% of it would end up exactly the same. But that's getting more into the technical side of things, and you know, maybe that's me being just a little bit too pedantic. But yeah, I think I'm so excited by the tactical possibilities. I think it's going to be really fun to explore. I do like hearing that they haven't constrained you. If you want your centre-back to play as a left winger and then come back as well, you can do that. And if it works, it works. Great. If it doesn't, no shit. Right, so here we go. In against Medical Car. And we will find out what he's got in store. So we're going to tell the players to relax. First game of the season. Going to take a cheeky little look here, and we've got a straight 4-4-2. Oh, gotta love a 4-4-2. This should be good. And let's head on into the game. Now, you know, we saw some things with FM26 with the suggestion of cutscenes beforehand that looked really, really interesting. I mean, we only saw brief touches of it, of the walkout, but some really like zoomed in angles and things that are really cool. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. See, like, you know, do we get to see substitutions being made? Do we get to really feel that pressure building late on in games? That'd be something I really, really hope is going to be a thing we get to. Right, I'm going TV there. So just waiting for Medical Car to be in there. That's absolutely fine. So we are going relatively high speed. Our target was to start our first game around 6:30, which is on track. We reckon it's going to take maybe a few hours, maybe 3, maybe 4, with the number of players we've got in. So hopefully we should be done at a pretty decent rate as well. So Blue Lions asks, what are everyone's save ideas? A fantastic question. I mean, I will certainly throw that back to you straight away as well. What is your save ideas? What are you planning to do to start off your FM26 career? I think that for me personally, I'm keen to get to convert the Zaragoza Pauk save over and have a look at that. Probably do something with Peterborough as I've moved here. Might be the first start, and maybe just maybe a little bit of Aston Villa's women's as well. Because I really want to see the WSL. Right, here we go. It's a lovely ball through Arcadius Milik. Oh, what a ball from Zielinski. Oh, that was delightful. That was delightful. Here's Under. Plays it inside to Modric. Turns away from pressure. Finds Zielinski. There's Garcia's just a little bit slow on the turn there. Excuse me. It's a lovely ball though. Weighted right in stride. And it's 1-0 inside 4 minutes. Boo! Boo! Right. I thought that highlight was going to be ours as well. It started with us, but it was not to be. Also, it feels very weird playing with the default skin here. So Rich says one thing, you would like some form of shouts back. I know they don't work as intended, but just having them there keeps people engaged with the match. I think that seems reasonably fair. I mean, it depends. I'd be interested to see what the flow is like in terms of being able to make tactical changes. But a large part of what was said by Miles, or certainly what was implied by Miles in his responses on Twitter the other year, was that it was basically just tactical changes underneath the hood. Oh, Grealish, it's the bar, you donkey. Is that, you know, mostly what the shouts were tactical changes, just short-term ones. And if it becomes quite easy to make those small tweaks, but have a bit more control over them, maybe shouts doesn't need to come back. But we'll see. So Blue Lions thinks that the UI is going to take some serious getting used to. I can certainly imagine that. I mean, we've been so used to the general feel of an FM game for a long time. It does seem to suggest that there may be a little bit of relearning that's going to be needed. He's in there with a free kick onto the roof of the bar. So we have had a few chances from mechanics now. Apparently we're winning the XG battle, but we've only really had that one chance that we've seen. Here's Mendes, cross to Chouameni, to Doherty, inside, Wood goes away from goal, that's fine. Here we go, can we get it in now? There he is, and it's a great save from Livakovic. Ah, boo. Right, let's get ourselves hydrated as we kick the ball out of play. So, okay, I mean, we've seen three highlights for Medical Car, just the two for us, really. So, although it seems we're doing okay, not really, can't necessarily complain about the scoreline right now. We don't really have much pressure on them in their third there. They played through us quite easily. as to be expected. We've got, 6 players back as a result of the shape. And here's Milik, 7 players back, in fact. It's good block. Well done, came across. Right, let's fire these guys up. We've also got half of our defence booked as well, which is probably something to be a little bit worried about. Welcome in, John, sir. How are you doing, sir? How are you enjoying your trip to the British Isles? Pardon me. So, Rich is curious for one thing. You're presently managing England. If you import this save to FM26, will you still be an international manager? Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? I think that's going to be the beauty of it all, is that some of those answers will become clear. My guess is that it will probably sack you. And it looks like I might be getting sacked in the morning. Here we go, 2-0 down at home. Tarkovsky with a hospital pass to Bowen. Under stepped in, finds Milik. Milik with that ball, and that's the very, very similar pass through on the angle. Our defenders are a little bit slow. Maybe we need to drop to something a little bit more cautious in that respect. Because when Dzeko and Milik are running through your defence, there's a problem there. So 2-0 at half time. Boo! Boo! Cool. Our shooting has not been good enough. That's true. And that's stressed out Nuno Mendes. So our changes here, we've got, let's see, Whitechapel Road. No, I think Fleet Street is our... Let's go with the Strand. Strand attacks on the left-hand side. So Gerson comes on there. We've got Papastathopoulos is going to stay at the back. Garcia loses out to Somerville. We're going to have Grealish out on the left. Guendouzi and Chirameni the other way around. And Santi Jimenez on here. And let's see how we get on. You weren't that bad. You weren't that bad. You were not that bad. You were that bad. I am lying to your faces. Welcome in, RJ. How you doing, sir? Lovely to see you. I almost look respectable. I look more respect. Let me go full respectability, because the other week I discovered something, and that is that apparently I'm short-sighted. So now I have glasses, which means I occasionally, well, I'm not sure if I look respectable or more like the kind of person you don't let near children, to be honest. There was definitely a 70s questionable gentleman look about it. But I'm short-sighted, so this doesn't help me when playing video games. So let's take them off. So Rich is going to play with Arsenal's women first. A fine choice. Fine choice. Some absolutely incredible players in that Arsenal squad, but not necessarily the best in the team. So should still best in the team, best in the league. So there should still be a good challenge there. But Johnson's going to think about maybe doing another journeyman, since you never got to finish your current one. So we start with Carrick Rangers, as you're living here for a while now. I mean, that is as good a reason as any, right? As Milik's in behind, Flecken though stands up tall, does well, pushes it behind. I am very, very worried with how easy Arcadius Milik and Eden Dzeko are getting through our defensive line. But it doesn't matter. This is all for fun, right? So Rich suggests that with shouts, you think there's a psychology thing about feeling involved. Same within real life managers, even though half the time the players don't hear them. And the other half of the time the players do hear them, but pretend they don't so they can ignore. Chirameni, shot blocked by Vida. Come on, the comeback starts now. So Blue Lions asks, is the men and women's game universe combined or separate? So there was an interview that said both. Essentially, you choose when you set up the game, you can choose to have just the men's league. It was the women's football trailer. So you can choose to have just the men's league, just the women's league, or both. As Chirameni pulls one back and they've disallowed it like absolute bastards. Absolute robbery. Corruption of the highest order. Right, we are bringing on Goretzka for Chirameni. And we're going to bring on Shaqiri for Wood. We're going to bring on Shaqiri for Wood. Pop him out wide. We're going to make Jack Grealish a false 9. We're going to tell them that I don't want them to feel any pressure. They're going to barely react whatsoever. And then once they come on, we're going to use the placebo effect of shouts to tell them that they're all bastards. Absolute bastards. How dare they play so badly? I mean, we were robbed with the goal disallowed. We won. So John, you're very much enjoying it. Everyone is so nice compared to Finland. Fair enough. So Scribes, you can't whisper me on Twitch unless I whisper you first. Just change your setting to allow messages from others. Right, cool. So I don't have Twitch actually set up on my PC here. So that will I will follow that up afterwards. Again, it might be tomorrow morning. I'll send you that way. Otherwise, are you in the Discord, Scribes? If not, you can pop on over in there and you will definitely be able to send me a DM that way as well. Welcome in, Pixel. How you doing, sir? Lovely to see you, my dude. I hope you are well. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with 1/3 of the Something About Soccer podcast, that's him there. An absolute gentleman. Definitely go check him out. Right, Johnson's got to pop in a minute. Going to chill out at the apartment before doing the vital research of which day has the best nightlife here. So if you're still around, Johnson, what's currently winning? What is currently winning the best night of the week to go out on the piss? So Rich says 1 universe, but you up to you as the player, so you can have exactly that. So Jay says no, not the glasses. Is it that bad? How is the Fulham Arsenal game going, Benny? You say I'm taking it's a 0-0, right? Distinguished and not allowed within 50 feet of a school zone. It does feel that a little bit, right? It does feel that a little bit. Like, so obviously I had the eye test and they said, right, you're short-sighted, you need glasses. They're like, go and pick some. And I'm like, what exactly am I looking for, right? So just whatever felt like it fitted quite nicely. Unfortunately, it has the byproduct of making me look exceptionally dodgy. I look like that common office worker. So RJ, you're moving next week into the new apartment. Oh, that should be exciting. Always a very, very stressful time moving. So I do appreciate a lot, I imagine, is on your plate, but you must be excited. Have you got everything all sorted? If there's still bits that are left over to do you need to still go shopping? Are you looking forward to getting new stuff? As Santi Jimenez pulls one back in the 71st minute. There we go. Jack Grealish, false 9. That was what we needed all along. So don't join that Discord. It's a trap. There's a Crudmo there. I mean, that's a fair point. Fulham Arsenal is 0-0. Arsenal have the only shot on target the whole game. 49 minutes, 71% of the ball. I mean, Fulham are a very organised side, to be fair. Well done to them. But yeah, that sounds truly atrocious. Truly atrocious. What you wrote there sounds weird. Full arse is 0-0. I mean, it does look like in some ways you have tried to draw a full arse, slightly parted. I do apologise. That was unnecessarily quick. Milik's got to be offside there. He is indeed. Right. Little bit of demand more. Then I think we will make a change. Maybe going to the last 10 minutes if we just throw a couple of people further forwards. Allow Medical Card to hit us on the counter-attack. Perhaps quite efficiently and put the game beyond doubt. Oh, pardon me. Right, here's Dedic to Kaminski. Kaminski in back to Stanisic. They're moving the ball around quickly, swiftly. Here's Milik. Holds it up. Finds Kaminski. Modric! Thank God for that. Right, here we go. That's going to see you up into that spot. And let's pop that up to be slightly more direct. And let's see if we can maybe snatch something at the death here. Or will we be torn apart as we overcommit? Here's Dzeko. Dzeko playing out the entirety of the game. Here he plays it into Under goes down. Nothing from the referee. Shaqiri gets it clear. Jimenez just stands there. Doesn't really bother. Ball over the top. Milik with the header. Flecken. Easy gather there. So Arsenal are playing for set pieces as always. It's a classic, right? It's a classic approach. And people called Simeone the Taliban. I mean, look, it's an effective approach. What can you say, right? You don't think they're even playing for anything? I think half of them realise they're playing. That does sound bad. So RJ, it's going to be a nice €1,000 to €1,500 flying away. That is the most painful element of moving for sure. We need the Admiral Akbar meme video from ROTJ. It's a trap. Arteta is worse than Mourinho. That's a bold take. Mourinho at least played for the goal, then parked the bus. Arteta just parks the bus. I mean, I think that it's... See, I would definitely agree that there is perhaps a bit too much caution as Milik's shot is blocked. And that's the moment we can no longer complain about the result. That really should have been 3-1. So going a little bit more direct without a false 9 was probably a bad decision. But fantastic result, Medical Car. Well done, sir. 2-1 on the opening day. Very, very much deserved. Even if we were robbed with that disallowed goal. Not too shabby. I'll tell them that I'm not happy with them. And I'm going to go and pop into a lovely little room. And if Medical Car wants to jump in, he can, but absolutely no obligation to do so. If he does, I'll connect up this onto the stream there accordingly. So yeah, not the greatest result, but we do, we're not out of it. We basically switched to what I was using in the league. Hello, sir. Oh, hello, sir. Well done. Congratulations. How was that game for you? Mate, Dzeko was making the runs in behind, 38 years young. Naturally. So, you said you've done some tests. How are you feeling for this? You got like a spot that you think you realistically can finish? I have a feeling we are all aiming for 7th. We're all like, fuck it, as long as we're not bottom, it's all good. Cool. Right, I'll let you get on with it. Congratulations, GG for the first game, and good luck for the rest of it. Ciao. Beautiful. Gotta love Medical Car. I haven't heard his voice since he was making predictions on... Was it on the FM show? Oh, pardon me. But some big results for that first week. Zerachel absolutely destroyed. 4-0. So we've got Oh, that's weird. So they've got the... So when you export a team, they get unique IDs that are different to when we created them. Now, these logos are correct. These ones are incorrect. Weird. But who knows? Yet the FM show, they haven't aged very well. I think it was a perfectly reasonable prediction at the time, to be fair. So the Palace-Bournemouth game was amazing. Oh no, don't tell me that Danny Munoz had a great game. I just subbed him out of my fantasy team. I think for Mark Gay, of all people. What was the final score? I saw Crystal Palace pulled it back to 2-2. I think I saw something on Twitter suggesting there was some late drama as well. But like Palace Bournemouth is the kind of, that's got to be like the most hipster game now in the Premier League. Two teams like in Glasner and Iraola, you've got these two managers that are quite exciting, do some very interesting things tactically. So that like was always going to be an amazing game, right? So Benny says, fans praise Arteta like he's going to deliver them a title. He sets up the team without purpose. I don't know if he'd even be able to deliver the mail on time. Ooh, we're feeling very, very combative. Now, Benny, is this by any chance fueled by some kind of like London-based rivalry. Because I get it. I absolutely get it. You know, we've got West Ham have won stuff in recent years. You've got the bragging rights, and every time that Arsenal fall just that little bit short, it's quite funny, right? Subscribes Mrs. Sari ball. Like, Sari was such. It's such a. I love how truly anachronistic Sari is. It just feels like he's from a completely bygone era, and it's wonderful. ROTJ, Return of the Jedi. There I was thinking, despite knowing Amaranth Bars in Star Wars, I wasn't thinking of it as, never considered it to be an acronym for that. I feel very, very stupid. When Star Wars was fun, indeed. Now, the media think as England manager, you're in charge of a club, the Club of England. Yeah, RJ's got it exactly right. The Club of England. So, the FM show, yeah, we got there. It was 3-3. 3-3. That's incredible. Oh my word. What happened at the end then? Because as I said, I 2-2. I saw that. So Mr. Grizzly has been disconnected, so we might just wait a little bit, give him a chance to get back in. No worries. Plenty of time to get back in. So I'll hold fire for a bit and see if we can. How did Beckham's diploma get on in that first game? They lost 1-0 to the Mechanics. Now I'm looking for the other one there. So this Mechanics. It's interesting that I can't tell who is which one without going back here, I don't think. So we know Medical Car is that Mechanics. That means that it's a Char with a 1-0 win over Grizzly in the first game there. So we'll go and we'll at least work out what we want to do for the next one. Are we going to have a good idea? It's up against Zerachal. He's playing a 4-4-2. With Sorloth and Isaac, we've got famous Scandinavian Savio on the left flank. Right, let's clear out the team. And shall we match up with a straight up I've got a regular winger, so we want inverted winger. So let's Whitechapel Road and Old Kent Road is the opposite way round. So this would be Nuno Mendes, Jack Grealish, Chris Wood, Santi Jimenez, Crescencio Somerville because of his pace, more defensive Alan Neom at right back, and then we go with Tarkovsky and let's give Amir Dosic the game, and we will have our box-to-box midfielder is... Let's give Gus Hamer a game, and we will stick with Chouameni in the more defensive spot. I swear I meant to pick Jimenez there. We'll stick with Flecken in goal. Will we? Low reflexes. Better positioning than Melier. We're going to regret it. We're going to regret Melier, but there we go. Garcia on the bench. Cash on the bench. Tonali, Guendouzi. And then we've got 4 attacking spots. So we go Bowen, Trossard, Totino, Ian Nacho for the bench, I think. Something like that. So there is some London rivalry, but also it's an awful way to spend 2 hours. That's fair. That's fair. Nickname, welcome in, sir. How you doing, my dude? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I always enjoy saying that. I hope you're doing well. It's lovely to see you there. RJ reckons that you need something to drink for the game. That's a fair shout. That is definitely a fair shout. Which was not a fan of the last 2 Star Wars movies. I mean, I know that people have warmed to the prequels, but I never quite jived. As far as I'm concerned, Star Wars is still just the original trilogy, and all the rest of it is just fluff. I try and conveniently ignore. Before I submit team, I'm just going to see if we got Grizzly is in. Marvelous. Auntie's connected. Beautiful. Right, so we can click submit now, which will be good. So 0-2 to 2-all, then 2-3 in the 89th minute, 3-all 97th minute penalty. Oh my indeed. So RJ didn't like the second trilogy, but now you like it more thanks to the third one. Fair enough. It was not that bad after all. I mean, yeah, just about. Right, actually, what I'm going to do is whilst we wait for this to connect, I'm going to take a very, very quick break so that I can nip to the toilet and maybe grab another drink. I will see you guys maybe in like a minute or so. Yeah, I reckon about a minute. That should be all it takes. See you in a moment. Right, and we're back. And we are nice and refreshed, and maybe the voice is starting to tickle. This is why you shouldn't ever take a month off from streaming, because then you get out of the habit of just talking incessantly to yourself in your home. So, Rich, you struggled with episode 8 and 9. You had episode 1 had issues. Number 2, you almost fell asleep in the cinema. You enjoyed 3. I mean, so that seems, let's be fair, that appears to be a 1 in 4 strike rate. Not that good, really. But it's still a classic, right? So it doesn't matter. It's like saying, you know, Godfather 3 was actually, Godfather 2 was good. I prefer the original Godfather. Godfather 3 was awful. I do tend to discount Godfather 3 from being part of the series at all, to be honest. As I was going to say, it's like saying all the Godfathers are bad, but because overall it's a classic, it's all right. But no, that's an awful analogy. Awful analogy. Right, let's head on in. We are up against Zeratul. And I mean, he is tagged there in the comments, but just in case, there it should be appearing now up in the top corner. Go show the man some love. We are once again going to tell the players to relax. I've generally speaking been alright with doing that. We've gone for the flat 4 to play up against his flat 4. Should be a beautiful combination of the worst things you've ever seen. Let's see how we get on. Combative is over on YouTube. You are the better touch team so far. I've got good feelings. Davids as Gus Hamer is interesting. And we can see there we've got the 2 duchies there. Not a single draw in that first round. Zeratul currently at the oh yeah. I made myself 7 foot in the absolute unit. Swamping Egil Olsen there. Right, are we going to do better this time round? We have the blue and yellow kit up against the black and yellow kit, and it hasn't decided to give us the away colours. This is going to be very, very confusing. But that's no problem. No problem whatsoever. So RJ says, age doesn't matter in that. The first trilogy is better. Fair. Fair to Rich's statement. He's an old fart. I mean, granted, you do beat most of us on the old fart stakes, but I think we're all old farts, really. Right, here comes Is it create shooting angle? Oh, Meslier. Do I substitute a goalkeeper in the 12th minute? There is absolutely no way he should have conceded that. Oh, you tit. That's a shocking goal to concede. Right, here's Benjamin Hendricks. Plays it to Sorloth. It's cut out by Chouameni, though. Here we go. Let's mount an attack. Oh, let's lose the ball. Meslier redeems himself. Get in. But we have conceded a free kick. It's going to be Martin Ødegaard. That wand of a left foot. Look at all that space over there. He points. This is going to be a goal. That's my theory. Is it going to be true? Is he ever going to take the free kick? He is. My theory is wrong. My theory is very wrong. Oh, I managed to mute this time, but we are now 2-0 down. Oh boy. So we established that the Strand was the tactic. Let's switch to the Strand, see if we can pull this back, because we are 2-0 down, 2 goals in 14 minutes. I didn't actually see the Kulusevski's goal. I wasn't paying attention whatsoever. I do apologise. In Star Wars, yeah, they were genuinely groundbreaking. That's a fair point. Is Ødegaard into the wall? Can they score from another corner? Here it is. Ødegaard coming with the outswinger. He's going to send it. Kulusevski was the target, but Grealish cuts it out for throw. Danger is gone. That's all that we need. RJ's having a lazy Saturday night, eating meatballs because you don't want to cook. I mean, how you've cooked the meatballs though, right? You're not just eating raw meatballs. That is some wild behaviour. I mean, I know you Belgians have some interesting take on cuisine, but raw meatballs would be one hell of a surprise. Rich is watching footy, following stream, drinking beer, finished off leftover Chinese takeaway. Nah, it's nice. Gotta love a bit of leftover takeaway. What is your Chinese order? What's your preferred choice? And there we go. Is that a penalty? No, it's not. The chance though still coming. Sorloth. Meslier gathers it. We are absolutely rotten. Absolutely rotten. We're going to demand some more. I think we might be changing to the... So when I said I had a little bit of prep time, but only just before the stream, of Jimenez pulls one back. And that should have been saved by Ronald. Ronald will be very disappointed with that. It's our first shot of the game. It was from 25 yards. It was pretty close to the goalkeeper. But there we go. The ball forwards to Chris Wood. And then Jimenez on the volley. Ronald can't get down low enough to his right to keep it out. 2-1. The comeback is on. The comeback is on with a 0.02 XG chance. Yeah, what is your Chinese takeaway of choice? I'm quite boring, you see. I'm very much sweet and sour chicken balls and like beef and black oyster sauce. Almost the same thing every single time. Plain rice, because I'm that boring. FMGNG, so if your manager shouts, you better believe he's getting a reaction. Fair point. Like if a 7-foot man shouts at you, you are not going to ignore that, right? Although they did pretty much all ignore it. Right, we had another chance. It was a 0.01 XG shot. We have been thoroughly outplayed. I think we're going to switch to the back 5 for the second half, but maybe try and avoid the slowness of... who are my subs? Did I have... I've just got Garcia. He's not quick either, but he can play the ball, so that's okay. I think it might be Wood who makes way in the second half. Jimenez comes close. Oh, that was actually an all right chance for once. I'm sorry, RJ, you bought them from a shop. You know, these prepared meatballs you can eat cold or reheat in the microwave. I don't think I've ever considered cold meatballs. As Gus Hamer tries to turn it in. Okay, this is better. This is better. Maybe they heard that I was going to make some changes and they're reacting accordingly. Grealish sent it in. Headed away. Jimenez now to Hamidsic. I cannot say his name for the life of me. So we had a little bit of a late rally there at the end of the half. Something to feel a little bit more optimistic about, but we are very much behind on merit. So that's what we're going to tell them. They're going to switch off. So we will say, you weren't that bad, actually. And we will go to Leicester Square was what we started with before. Grealish as the trick. No, it's not Leicester Square. It's the other one. It's the one that begins with R. So it's going to be Regent Street. Grealish, Jimenez, Wood. Chris Wood play as a centre-back. I feel like Chris Wood is the kind of player who would be able to play as a centre-back in real life. He can't. He can't. So on comes Garcia. Wijnaldum, Harmer, Tchouaméni, Mendes, Grealish, Somerville, Jimenez. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And let's say to Garcia, I trust you. And let's mount the comeback. This is going to be it. A nickname, did we discuss Ange getting sacked? We haven't. What are your thoughts about Ange getting sacked? So I have mentioned it a little bit in the Discord, just as general conversation. But I think that it's a really difficult situation because 39 days is not a fair crack of the whip. But I think Nottingham Forest were ridiculous to hire him in the first place. He is such a poor fit for the squad that they have that accepting that you've made a mistake and acknowledging it early is probably a good thing. And the suggestions are that maybe it's Sean Dyche that could be coming in and someone who's going to be a little bit closer to the way that Nuno had built that squad surely can only be a good thing looking at the season going forwards. So there's this weird thing where I think that it's ridiculous they've sacked him and given him so little of a chance and essentially set him up to fail. But at the same time, I think they made the right decision, possibly. So Rich Chinese, you're trying lots of different things on the menu as your knowledge is poor in relation to Bangladeshi Indian food, but your top preferences are satay and Szechuan. I do like a little bit of Szechuan chicken, I must say. You also need to work on your cooking knowledge for East Asian food. Fair enough. And the best way to do that has definitely got to be eat as much of it as you can get away with. Right, Somerville to Mendes. Mendes, the inverted wing-back, does try to come over. Here's Jimenez. Oh, that was almost a defensive error that we managed to seize on. Jimenez looks alert, right? He's unhappy, or he's anxious, but he's come close a few times now. He seems to be seizing on those errors when they're happening. But I wouldn't say that our chance creation has been particularly encouraging so far. We are going to make another little change as well. Let's say goodbye to Somerville. Hello to Trossard. And goodbye Hamer. Hello to Gnarly. Let's just play a little bit more direct. Enjoy your debut, Leandro. That said, Zerachel should probably be at least 3-1 up by now by my reckoning. Chris Wood is Perlo. Chris Wood is Perlo. That's what they often call him, the Kiwi Perlo. Right? Rich says, appointing Ange at this stage of the season, completely different style, squad issues was madness. I agree with you 100%, Rich. He's also mad for accepting it in the first place. I also agree with you 100%. Forest deserve to be relegated. I mean, I think that there's a very real chance they're in that conversation. But at the same time, I think there's quite a few teams that look like they might struggle as Santi Jimenez pulls it back 2-2. There we go. Get in. Oh, here comes the pause. We will have to wait a little bit for the replay. It was a corner routine. We've got a goal each, I think, from set pieces now. But Santi Jimenez with our third goal of the tournament and his third goal of the tournament. Fuck the rest of the players. Let's just all play around Santi Jimenez. What a star. What a star. Jack Grealish sends it across. There's Trossard, moves it along. Jimenez takes a touch and then leathers it. Top bins. I feel so uncomfortable saying top bins. Oh my. Oh, that's nice. Here we go. Right, we send it long. Jimenez can't keep it, but that's okay. Tonali steps in. Trossard cuts inside, sends the cross in. Johnny gets it away. We keep the pressure on though. Here's Jimenez. Jimenez can't beat his man. Erdegaard gets it clear. Only as far as Mendes. Mendes drives forward, sends the cross low. Jimenez looking for that hat-trick. It's blocked. It was blocked. Boom. But we do have a corner, and that means another chance. It's going to be Jackie Grealish swinging it into the middle of the box. It comes to Trossard. Trossard with a shot. Ronaldo with the save. It feels like we have the momentum right now, so we will ruin that by shouting at the players. We're saying, hey, I like what you're doing. Keep on doing it. And we'll be offside. There we go. Liam says, no and sacking chat, but you're 15 minutes behind. We've got it now, Liam. We've got it now eventually. Ange has been sacked twice since Wolves last won a league game. That is a crazy stat. A hilarious but crazy stat. Right, our last change is it going to be... We're bringing on Tino for Grealish. And I think we're bringing on Iheanacho for Nyom. Let's go for it. Let's make you a complete wing-back on attack. Leandro Trossard, right wing-back, into the last 10 minutes as we chase that win. That surely is going to be an inspired move. 100% going to work, right? Here we go. Mendes with the corner. Tino. Oh, Tino. That would have been something. That would have been something. We have turned it around in terms of the XG as well. Tonali with a free kick into the wall. 2 minutes remain. We've got a corner. It's going to be Tonali to take it. Again, with that right foot in swinging. We're aiming for the middle of the box so that we're not taking advantage of near post malarkey. And that means it goes straight into the arms of the goalkeeper and there's no highlight there forthcoming. There are 5 minutes of injury time and a highlight. And Iheanacho steals it. Jimenez. Back to Tchouaméni. We move it back. Here's Trossard, the new right wing back. Cuts inside, shoots from distance, hits the post. Oh, Trossard. Oh, that was almost the moment. Almost the moment. Subscribe says she thinks it was bonkers to sack Nuno. Agreed with you on that. But as a West Ham fan, all I can say is thank you very much. I mean, it is also quite hilarious, for sure. For sure. Nickname agrees he wasn't a good fit for the squad. You're curious to see if Dyke and that Greek nutter will get along for the rest of the season. That's it, though. They only need to get along until the end of the season, right? I can imagine that, Zerachol is going for it. He's waited until the last minute. And here comes the highlight. Erdegaard cut out by Tchouaméni. Tino clears it. It's 2-2. What a game, the commentary says. And what a game it was indeed. We pulled it back. We were 2-0 down. It looked like we were all at sea. And then we hit the post. Big saves from Ronaldo as well. And we can feel a little bit hard done by. A little hard done by at the end of that. But, you know, still, a point is a point. And we've got to be reasonably content with that. So I'm going to pop on over into the lovely little chat bit there and see. I don't know if so. It's a lot to coordinate trying to stream and chat and all that malarkey there. So we won't do that there. So Beckham's diploma. I think Grizzly disconnected for a moment, but he seems to be back in again, which is good. It's GG's. Can't believe we injury time. Yeah, so that's the first draw of the tournament. Allergy season 3-2 over the Dutch. And then we have the other Dutch are 3-1 up against the Mechanics. Beckham's diploma. So does that mean Zerachol and I are the only teams without a win potentially? If results hold as they are. No, Allergy season won their first game 4-0. So depends which Dutch is which. So RJ's put a picture of meatballs on Discord. Fabulous. I look forward to seeing that. So speaking of Trossard, he scored with Belgium. Rare enough to mention it. bless him. Trossard's such an interesting player, right? Because he is one of those guys that if you need someone to come off the bench, he will change a game completely. You'll sub him on at like the 72nd minute, and he will create 3 chances or score a key goal, and you'll be like, Trossard's amazing, let's start him. And he will be shite. It will look like he's never ever played football before. And I find it genuinely baffling to understand how it changes so much just by virtue of starting a game. So I thought we could press continue, we couldn't there. So Rich says, you should actually really like Big Ange. There's an honesty and sense of perspective that's really healthy. I'm sad this has not worked out. I mean, I don't mind Ange. I quite like Ange's style of football. I don't warm to his ego, I'll be honest. I do find himself maybe a little too cocky for my liking, but you've got to be cocky, right? You've got to have that ego to be a football manager at the highest level. You don't get there by being nice and self-aware and reflective. It has to come from that spot a little bit. I agree with your point that I don't understand why he took the job, but I felt he was dealt a very, very bum hand. I don't think this is some indication that Ange is suddenly a bad manager. I'm not sure if he's necessarily, say, a very good manager. I like what he's trying to do. I think it's fun. But I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to suggest that I think he's got what it takes to be a top manager. But how can I dare say that? Look at, like, he is infinitesimally more successful as a manager than I will ever be. So I shouldn't be so cool. So RJ says he's really good. You like him, but with Belgium he seems to struggle all the time. 1-0 Arsenal, by the way, and guess who scored? I am taking it that is a Leandro Trossard 91st minute winner or something, right? Which will be absolutely appropriate. Beckham's diploma hangs on. They get the win. It was a 94th minute winner. After Kramaric had pulled it back to 2-2. Oh, great drama. Great drama there. Right, let me just have a quick. I should not be. I'm sorry, RJ. That is clearly a Belgium thing. That seems crazy to me. Like, is it that crazy? You know, we have pork pies, and you know that's essentially pork meatballs that are cold, covered in pastry and jelly. I mean, they put jelly on it as well. That's even worse, right? Don't know. Yeah, just the idea of cold meatballs just doesn't sit right with me. It was Trossard. There's the 58th minute though. There's 5 minutes to go. Okay, that's not slight. It would have been more appropriate if he'd scored in injury time with the conversation. So it's a fritkop or a frittery thing. Interesting. I'll definitely look into that more. Like, is it something that you just eat it on its own, or is it meant to be like dipped? Does it? Because it seems that it looks like it had some kind of coating as well, right? So is that just a regular breadcrumb coating as well, or is it just it's just meat and that's the way it's cooked? And so yes, it is just Zerachul and I that are without a win so far. Beautiful stuff. And Jimenez stars as the banker's hand. Rue chances. Read that, Zerachul. Read that. We was robbed. I'm sticking to that. I'm sticking to us being robbed in the previous game where we had a goal disallowed, quite rightfully for offside, and we were thoroughly outplayed. But let's not let facts get in the way. You know, something about facts don't care about my feeling. I don't understand that nonsense. Right, our next game is up against Grizzly. Beckham's diploma. It's the dunces against the people that I think would cheat at Monopoly. So RJ asks, have I ever seen a fruiterie in Belgium? I am not familiar with the term. I've only been to Belgium once. Yeah, once. That was with school when I was like 17. The whole Meningate thing, went to eat. And what do I remember about it? I remember a man with a fabulous moustache. He was the most Belgian-looking stereotype I think I've ever seen, and that kind of made me happy. All right, let's go back to the back five. That worked well in the second half of the game. So that was Regent Street with the inverted wing back on the left. It is indeed. So we are saying Tarkovsky in the middle, Garcia on the right, Somerville on the left, Grealish there. I mean, I know I've just said that Trossard is a liability when he starts game, but we're going to start him. Pardon me. Anyway, we're going to have Guendouzi in, Flecken on, and so Iheanacho can be a complete forward. We probably need a centre-back on the bench, and that centre-back, we're going to stick with Socrates as the option there, and we're going to head into the game now against Mr. Grizzly. Mr. Grizzly and Beckham's diploma. Now, he did suggest in chat earlier that he'll be playing a 3-3-3-1 with Ngonch. Sorry, bear one moment. Apologies. Yeah, 3-3-3-1 with an Ngonch. So I'm hoping to see that. It should be glorious. So a fruiterie is a French-speaking term for a fast food stand or restaurant specialising in fried potatoes, often found on town squares or highways. The English equivalents include a chip shop. Fair enough. I've definitely been to a Belgian chip shop, which may well have been, but again, it was with a school. All I remember is there being a lot of mayonnaise. A lot of mayonnaise. And nickname says indeed that it is just a Belgian chippy. Beautiful. So the Rams only flying into London this morning for game tomorrow seems a bold strategy. Did they really leave it until... Surely their body clock's going to be all over the place, right? That is a bold decision. I mean, we'll see how it works out for them tomorrow, but yeah, that definitely wouldn't have been the approach I would have taken. But what can I say? Browns flew out, I think, on Thursday and got absolutely spanked. So, you know, maybe that's the approach, is don't even allow yourself to think about your body clock. Just fly out, play the game, fly back. Spend as little time in England as you possibly can. Right, so let's see. We will again say... No, I'm saying I expect to win. We've told them to relax the last couple of games, and we've been playing from behind. And there we go. There is the 3-3-3-1. Now, I'm going to ask you to be a stopper. Step out a little bit. Yeah, I think that's okay. No, I'm going back in there as well. Let's make sure that we have Kevin De Bruyne tight marked and hard tackled. Those are going to be our solutions to the problems, I hope. So RJ says, French fries stall, American English, or a hamburger stand. They often serve a variety of other fried and grilled items like hamburgers, sausages, and meatballs alongside fries. Fair enough. That makes sense. I'd say definitely feels like what as nickname would say we would call a chippy. You know, a chippy, generally speaking, you think of it more for fish, but burgers, sausages, like a good battered sausage. You can't go wrong with a good battered sausage. Musterman out of context. Right, let's see if we can do a little bit better this time around. Up against Grizzly. Trossard with the start. Are we going to... Come on, I was hoping we were going to get a goal right from the off. It is not to be. I am not impressed with Mendes so far. I'm wondering if he's one of those players that's really come on leaps and bounds in real life, but in FM24 was just maybe a little bit underwhelming, or maybe we're just not using him well. That's also a very viable and possible situation. Here's Dest to Kakare. Mendes with the penalty. Oh, Mendes. It's going to be another game where we're 1-0 down inside. When did we concede in the first game? We conceded in the 12th and 16th in the last one. But Kevin De Bruyne, Beckham went the right way, but there was no stopping that. It was hit high, it was hit hard. 1-0 to Beckham's diploma. We're sending it long. Here's Guendouzi, back to Garcia. Come on, lads. Tarkovsky into Chouameni. This feels like a defensive error written all over it. There we go. Right, Chouameni just had to head it away, and now playing it through the lines, but Tarkovsky cuts it out. Beckham once again goes long. Grealish can't get there. Palmer, oh my word. Oh, that would have been nice. First time volley with his left foot. Unfortunately, just wide. Oh, we are struggling. We are struggling. Where's there going to be a highlight now? Jet lag kicks in later, says Rich. That's a fair point. A fair point. I'm not sure it's been left that late before, so interested to see how it goes. So RJ, you've got sausage here called fricandel. Every Belgian knows how it's made, but we don't care because it's good. I mean, that's the thing. It's like there is so many people know how sausages are made, and you're like, yeah, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Matches Cunha, we are 2-0 down once again. Is it just whatever tactic we choose to start a game with will be bad, and we just need to change? Change it during the game, and suddenly things will be fine. Something along those lines. Right. So Guendouzi, Eric Garcia, striker. I'm not going to make a substitution right now. We will just change formation and see how it goes from there. Bayern 2, Dortmund 1, only caught last 15 minutes, but very entertaining. A great pass from Kane for the second goal. Who scored for Bayern? Oh, we're 3-0 down now. I should really start paying attention, eh? Right, well, we changed tactic. That made all the difference in the world. We are getting torn apart by the dunces of Beckham's diploma. Right, Eric Garcia off. Chris Wood on. We are much more direct. Can we? Don't want to pass into space. That's it. Distribute to target man as well. First sub inside half an hour. Oh, this is not going well. Not going well at all. Ouch, ads mid-game. I'm sorry about that, RJ. Actually, I would appreciate your feedback on that, guys. Obviously, because we're doing a tournament, I don't really have as much control about when we can pause and stuff. So I did set the ads to basically be as short as they possibly could be. That means they're more frequent. So do let me know if you prefer the when we come into, oh no, 4-0. Oh, Flecken with the save. Flecken with the save. Thank God for Mark Flecken, eh? Let me know, because obviously as we head into FM26, and I will hopefully be returning to a more regular streaming schedule, whether you prefer the 3-4 minute breaks every hour, or whether you prefer it just small little ones. It means it's going to crop up during games more often, but they won't be as big. And I think some of the ads are just things that appear like underneath the window or to the side or something. Twitch self-promote during ads now. I mean, it's an approach for sure. Oh, GNG, bless you, sir, with the gifted subscription to RJ. What a gentleman you are. What a gentleman you are. So Bayern, it was Kane and Elise. It was Julian Brandt for Dortmund to get it back to 2-1 for an exciting endgame. Does sound good. Only one goal. Kane was bad today. I mean, you're absolutely right, Rich. He's adapted really, really well. And obviously, he's a phenomenal player. An absolutely phenomenal player. Okay, so changing formation hasn't made any difference. We have had one shot though, so I suppose that counts for something. I mean, there's no real point in changing it now. We've lost this game, so we might as well let it carry on through at a reasonable rate. But is it going to be 5-0 before half-time? It might be. Oh, we are torn apart. So yeah, I was saying this earlier. That's what I got interrupt saying. In terms of prep for this evening, I didn't actually do any proper prep. I just went, here are some formations we can throw together with the team that we've got. No testing whatsoever. And I think I might be learning that I should have probably done some testing. So let's pop to the league and let's pick a silly formation. I think Mr. McGiblets. What's this? 5-1-4. Yeah, let's go with that, hey? Do we brought Wood on after half an hour. Do we bring him off? That would be kind of funny. But we're not going to do that. We'll keep him on. We've got Mendes, we've got Naomi, we've got Guendouzi. So those are the changes. We brought a centre-back off. We're now bringing a centre-back on. We are going to replace Jimenez with Somerville. And we say to the individuals that we haven't spoken before, I have faith. Let's see. I expect this will see us absolutely torn apart. I seem to remember this being one of the more outlandish shapes that I was messing around with that was truly, truly awful. But I can't remember. So Nickname asks, how's life been during your break from streaming? Busy with a new job, I guess. Yes, it has been quite busy. So it's a very, very weird situation whereby I'm going to be working in a depot that isn't open yet. And the build isn't meant to be handed over for like another 10 days, and then it needs to be fitted out. So we're still a number of months away from doing the job properly. So it's going to be, we're 5-0 down. There's one Foy. It was a lovely volley from Foy. So it's a lot of learning and shadowing, a lot of very, very funky hours. But one of my biggest concerns, which so far, touch wood, that's what I should be doing for touch wood, seems to be stable. So I had to move at very short notice. It's an HMO, so home and multiple occupancy. It's been reasonably quiet as far as I can tell. We haven't had too many disturbances. Now, most of this, the place itself is generally quite quiet. It's the neighbours that tend to be a little bit noisy. The internet seems to be stayed stable as well, but we did drop out a little bit before we started the tournament, which has been one of the main impediments really to streaming. Is just because I don't know that I can have a stable broadcast. This has gone okay so far, which is really, really good. It kind of allays some of my fears. We are 6-0 down. Bernardo. Oh my word. Oh my word. Have highlights been turned off? Has Mr. Grizzly turned highlights off just to spare my embarrassment? That is very sweet if that is the case. Right, Nuno Mendes is coming off, and we're going to bring on Jared Bowen at left wing back. We are going to bring off Leandro Trossard and bring on Ian Nacho. I don't think it's going to make it. Yeah, this is painful. This is painful, eh? So he gave an interview saying he was very sceptical about company, and now he's completely changed his mind. I mean, you do have to kind of change your mind after that. See, I think we said it last year, is I completely understand Bayern going for company because of the stylistic choice and how that didn't necessarily suit Burnley in attempting to stay up in the Premier League, where they didn't have the quality difference to pull off that approach. But it does still seem so ridiculous. Like, that is a massive failing upwards. Good recognition from Bayern in terms of a stylistic approach that will work well with them. It is really quite good to see. Really quite good to see that he's doing well and it fits. So Rich says they've just replayed Kane's pass, must be 50 yards diagonal cross pitch, rolls into the receiver's feet. He is phenomenal. Kane could have a longer career dropping deep. I mean, he's going to be. He's got to stay as a striker, right? Because even as a striker, he plays like a deep lying playmaker. So if you later on in his career drop him and say, okay, we're going to play him in midfield, he's going to be taking the ball off the goalkeeper. He's going to literally be like standing on the goalkeeper's feet right from the moment they get possession. So you've got to try and like convince him he's a striker just so that he doesn't drop too deep, right? Surely. Grizzly, you did turn it off, but just because your PC is so slow. Fair enough. This is an absolute demolition, sire. Absolute demolition. I might have to resort to something that I know vaguely works at this level, because this is not the one for sure. Apparently, Company was the 5th choice, but it's worked out well at the end. And it's not going to be those things though, like that whole sliding doors moment whereby, and hopefully it might be the situation for Rangers. You know, this will be the round where they lost out on Gerrard, but Muscat comes in and becomes an absolute club legend, winning every league title for the next 30 years, and he stays there forever. And people would be like, but what if Gerrard never turned him down? Gerrard would have absolutely ruined it, and none of this would have happened. And you know. Along those lines, right? It was brave for Bayern to appoint a manager who'd been relegated, but their decision has been justified. That's fair. Nicknames, glad to hear things are going well for you. You're still job hunting? Got a cat to keep you company now, though, and some prospective freelance clients are lined up. I mean, I'll be honest, I am more excited about the cat than the freelance clients, but one, fingers crossed for you. I know how truly frustrating it is. But two, cat is a great choice. That is like, I think my next steps, once everything is all settled and we've opened the depot, it's only a 6-month contract with this place. So it'll be get a spot of my own and probably get a cat. Because that is the one thing. I've never been too stringent with what I've done when it comes to house searching. But if I can find a place that will allow pets, that would be beautiful. So there we go. There we have it. GG Grizzles. I'm sorry for calling you Grizzles. I mean that affectionately. Oh my word, an absolute dismantling. And I'll pop into the chat in case wants to. Let's get some water bottles out. We have been absolutely thumped. And it's not over. Pillagers. Oh no, Zerachul's going to get a win. We're going to be the only team remaining without a win. There was an absolutely cracking 4-all going on between the Dutch and the Mechanics 23-24. Sensational stuff. Allergy Season falls to their first defeat, and it's at the hands of a penalty. A 71st minute Seshko penalty. Pep might have talked for him. Yes, certainly that will have helped. And I think that Arteta, I know there's been criticisms of him from Benny earlier on in the chat, but Arteta doing well for Arsenal. Like, sure, they haven't won anything, but they looked like they were in a real mess towards the end of Emery's tenure there. So he has turned around, he has turned them into competitors. And I think that probably also helped Company's case, because it meant that there was like some proof that working under Pep can translate. I think the jury's out a little bit on Maresca, but he's won a European trophy. Chelsea are definitely in the conversation as being a top 4 club, and that kind of is worth something, because although they've spent a crazy amount of money, they have spent a crazy amount of money on young players. So trying to bring that all together and harmonise is quite a feat, dealing with the large squad. So I think Maresca's done okay, even if people aren't necessarily convinced he's great. But I think that surely got to help, right? The whole coaching tree doing kind of well thing. Zerachol is right. Cats are OP. Absolutely. RJ, it was a close game. It most definitely was a close game. Right, I need to go pee again. I'm going to see you guys in about a minute, which is perfect because there's an ad about to pop up, so that's perfect. I will see you guys in a few moments. Right, and we're back. We are back. So nickname, yep, he's been great. Your arms are covered in scratches and bite marks, but he's been great. I mean, isn't that the exact requirement of having a cat, right? Like, that's the only thing they are there for. They are there to abuse you, to ignore you when you want their attention, and to ask for food. I love it. They are so apathetic to human beings. I feel like I can truly relate. Let me just pop out of there. So we're going to wait. So what do we do for our next game? We are up against the Dutch next. They're going to be playing another 4-4-2 allegedly. So far we've had this 3-5-2, this 3-4-3 work well against a 4-4-2, work really badly against a 4-4-2, work awfully against the 3-3-3-1. So do we go... do we go back to matching with... No, we go to the one that we used in the league. That's what that is. We know that's kind of okay. I don't think we have the right personnel for it, but false nine Grealish. And it's okay. Okay, that's a feature, right? So false nine Grealish, poacher Jimenez. We're going to give Shaqiri some game time. We're going to give... We'll give Naum another chance there. We're going to bring in Marcus Alonso. We're going to... What's Tarkowski's rating? 6.4, 6.6. So Tarkowski's the one that comes out of the lineup. Doherty comes back in. Out of the defensive midfielders, Guendouzi has been the better. On the right, Somerville's 6.83 is good. So yeah, something like that. So we've got Socrates, Cash, Mendes on the bench. Let's get Goretzka on the bench there. Those two can stay. We will keep Wood around because he offers us a big man, and we will give Ben Rama a chance. Something like that. Let's give that a go and see how it runs from there. We are currently adrift, the only team without a win so far in the league. That means I think we are at least 3 points off anyone else. No, the Dutch have 1 win, 2 defeats there. So a win could potentially move us off bottom, but I wouldn't get too optimistic about that. So, Rich, you've just seen the 3-minute highlights of Sunderland versus Wolves. First goal is brilliant, short, sharp passing from Sunderland. Shot close in, just seems to come off the keeper's leg. Hope Matt they have a keeper analyst on tonight. I mean, so what do you feel your expectations for this season are now? So obviously the priority is just survival, right? That doesn't change even with the good start. But do you feel optimistic that maybe you could be looking at mid-table, maybe even higher? Do you think that these good results are going to carry on? Or do you have some concerns that whilst things are going well at the moment, that it might get found out and teams might adapt to you as the season goes on? I'd love to know. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. A second goal looks like horrible deflection, but it's the consequence of poor regroup from Wolves when defending a counter. I mean, transitions, such a bastard. So Liam, you never used to like cats precisely due to their apathy, but your girlfriend made us get a kitten, and now you have newfound love for him and cats in general. He sits on my chest when we watch telly. Oh, that is lovely. I think it's getting used to a cat does take a while for sure. Sorry, need to keep lubricated. But I think there is something so serene and calm about them. Like, dogs are fine. This isn't some kind of cats versus dogs thing. But if you are chilling down, you're relaxing in the evening, you just want to be chill. A dog might curl up to you, but a dog also needs that constant attention. Whereas a cat will curl up to you and will be like, this is nice, this is chill. And they don't want really any attention. They just want to do their thing. And so you get the warmth about a pet without much of the effort. Liam says it's lovely to know a creature that doesn't have time for humans. Seizure is someone they have time for. Exactly. So Grizzly says you'd think tight marking the Enganche would take him out of the game, right? I mean, it made so much difference, eh? Oh my word, absolute destruction. Tips given. No, I will not be last. Don't worry. I think I've got last locked up, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Right, here we go. I want to see a much better performance. Relax. I want to see it, but there is no pressure on you. Let's see how we get on. Here we go with our deep 4-4-2. Look at all those pictures. Obviously, Marcel Desailly at left back. Do we have any pictures for the Dutch? None of them. It's a narrow 4-3-3. We've got 3 strikers. One of them is Di Maria. Oh, I should have gone big. They're a small team. I should have been going for set pieces. That would feel very unfair, though. Very, very unfair. Rich says priority is to survive. Nothing has changed. That's fair enough. But do you have a way? Oh my word, we got a goal from kickoff. Sandro Tonali, just in time to celebrate Al Farby with the resubscription. You absolute star. You've been subscribed for 12 months. That is crazy. 12 months this has been going. Oh my word. Bless you. Thank you so much, Al Farby. Welcome in as well, my dude. There we go. Somerville with the cross. Tonali breaking from midfield. 1-0. That's the break we've needed. The break we have needed for sure. So teams are battling hard for the team are battling hard for each other, even with so many new players. Credit to them, manager Regis Lebris and the coaches. So do you feel like almost an instant response from Vitinha there? Good job from Flecken. Gets down well. I can't believe we considered making Melier the starter for that one game. I suppose at least we learned from that mistake there. Yeah, how long do you reckon you can keep hold of Lebris? He's done really, really well. I think he was a great pickup for you in the Championship. I think that obviously the longer you continue to impress in the Premier League, the sooner teams are going to come sniffing. But we've started to see precedent in recent years with, no one's been able to get hold of get Iraola away from Bournemouth. It took a long time for someone to take Thomas Frank off Brentford's hands. So maybe there isn't a risk there. So Nickname says, no, this cat I have now will start chewing your USB cables and try eating your plants just to get attention. But I have to say, USB cables, they're very tasty. As Jimenez offside, that could have been a chance. We've only had that one shot that counts. It has otherwise been the Dutch's game so far. We are going to fire up the players. Let's try and make sure they keep the foot on the gas. Right, Silva, cross to Mazzocchi. Mazzocchi cuts inside, driving forwards, has to go back to Antonio Silva. Cracking player, maybe one of the better defenders in this tournament. He sends the cross in. It's over everyone's head. Everything nice I said about you, Flecken, I take back. What on earth was that? Grealish comes away with it. Here's the counter-attack. Inside to Somerville, who's got the assist. Somerville creates space and, it's blocked. Blocked by Schüttler. Okay, Grealish is going to take that corner. Come on, 2-0. Come on, 2-0. Shaqiri to Alonso. Shaqiri falls down under absolutely nothing whatsoever. A disgusting dive. Disgusting dive. Andre Pierre-Gignac does still play, and he's very much there as Crescencio Somerville makes it 2-0. Oh, that feels unfair. This feels very, very unfair to the Dutch there. I see that Dutch goes for youngsters. Absolutely. Well, so the way that we did this was I'd done the analysis, generated a list of players. We worked out where that 90th percentile mark was and went down. And then Zerachal came up with five themes. I came up with 5 themes. And we just picked players that matched those themes. And we tried to balance out their role rating as a result. So the Dutch is very much a team picked and named by Zerachal. And as we all know about Zerachal, he doesn't like young players. So I think almost all of his teams are generally speaking quite old. You can feel the Zerachal running through them. So Nickname, he likes playing football with his toy mouse at 4 a.m. The cat witching hour is amazing. Where all of a sudden they get their energy at the dead of the night and start zooming around like crazy motherfuckers. I genuinely love it. It's so. So I used to have a cat a few years ago. It's a rescue cat, and I just it would wake me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning as it's running around the flat, and I couldn't help but laugh because it's just so ridiculous. So absolutely ridiculous. He's so placid and calm and doesn't really do much during the daytime. So Grealish makes it 3-0. Oh, I am so sorry, the Dutch. This feels like all our bad luck from the first couple of games is now being taken out on you. Yeah, so placid, calm and chill for 23 hours a day. And then there's a moment where he's like, this is the worst possible time for me to be energetic. I am going to be an absolutely manic bastard for an hour, 2 a.m. every night. Glorious. Glorious. Rich, you reckon that Lebris will stay? You've extended his contract. He's a development manager rather than a short-term impact manager, so it may be less likely other clubs poach him. That's fair. Very, very fair. RJ says Zera's choice was probably something like only 6'5" Norwegians who are good at throwing and eating pineapple pizza. I think that was one of his. No, it wasn't quite. We should really have a look at the teams that didn't make it. So there were 10 teams in total, but everyone had 3 choices to pick which they want. So there were some teams that didn't get picked at all. One of them was technically the highest rated. As soon as Somerville, it's a good save. It's a good save as we look to pile on the misery now. That is, we've had 4 shots on target. 3 of them have been goals. That is very, very cruel, very unfair. But maybe there's a chance to get something back here. Mazzocchi with the cross. Andre Pierre-Gignac. Oh, it's disallowed for offside. There was no VAR in this tournament. We turned that off because it's just frustrating and annoying. But it does mean we don't get to see a replay of that field. That didn't look wrong to me. Right. In the second half, we are dropping that tempo. Playing a little bit wider. Dropping those lines a little. And then we're going to regret that in the second half as they come back at us, and we'll have to revert, and then we won't be able to maintain momentum or get that momentum back. Yeah, standard fare. Absolutely standard fare, right? Yeah, like I certainly see the argument about Labrie there. I think there we go. We scored after 18 seconds of the first half. The Dutch pull one back after, was it 20 seconds in the second half? Maybe the comeback is on. Candraver feeds Coke. I mean, don't feed Coke. That's not the way I really wanted to phrase that. It's a nice strike from distance. Flecken, I feel, could have done better. And we've got to change to a 4-3-3 as a result. Well, he was playing a 4-3-3 anyway. But a more traditional 4-3-3. Inside forwards, complete forward. Got advanced playmaker in Candraver. Do we try and get ourselves in a position to run at Luis Alberto? I mean, look at that. We have shaded the XG battle, but it's definitely not been a 3-1 game by any stretch of the imagination. No highlights for a little bit. Certainly encouraging there. Tonali on a yellow card, so let's bring this man off. Bring Goretzka on. Just straight up protect ourselves from any silly red cards if we can. We've got maybe a change coming. Yeah, he's reverted back to the high 4-3-3, the one that got him a goal right at the beginning of the second half. Here's Goretzka, plays it out to Shaqiri. Shaqiri tries to create some space, he can't, he loses out, and here's the counter-attack. Di Maria, he can't beat Ahmedodzic. Ahmedodzic. We'll get there eventually. By the time he retires in like 10 years, maybe I'll be able to say his name. Vitinha to Coke. Here's Mazzocchi. He's over on the right-hand side. Feeds Di Maria. Coke to Luis Alberto. It's 3-2. Oh, no. Not like this. Not like this. Up we go. We revert back. We look at where the issues are occurring, and I feel like it's on our left-hand side. So here we go. Drop you to be a fullback. We're going to bring on Iheanacho, and we are going to say, I trust you, and none of them react. So Liam, it's good to know a cat zooming around in the middle of the night is a common thing and not just ours. Yeah, the zoomies, man, the zoomies. Gignac's still playing in real life, 39. Indeed. Welcome in, Iron. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. I hope everything is keeping well with you. Are you excited for FM26? RJ, Shakira, you've always got to say it Shakira style. You mean Shakira style? Shakiri. Oh, baby, when you dance like that, you make a woman go mad. I don't know the words, something to something your body. Oh, well, tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it right. Ba-da-ba, da-da-ba, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Shakiri. Sorry, yes. Yeah, I'm now starting to feel very subconscious. Here we go, Connolly. Oh, Ahmedodzic cuts it out. Doherty to Somerville. Let's get a fourth. We could do with it. And here is Iheanacho. Shotlo gets the first challenge. Gets it again. Sends it in. Grealish a shot. Blocked behind for a corner. The changes are coming. Connolly's replaced with Gignac. Januzaj for Di Maria. Tap Zoba on for Silva. We've got a little bit more height in our back line now, but we've got the same system going. Has been a very, very even game. The Dutch do deserve an equaliser here for sure. Since you already have the song for that's a fair for Basel save in FM26, because we already know what the song is. Indeed. And so Iron's doing well. How am I? I am doing very well as well. Well, I might be. We could be about to concede. Here's Arnel Martinez Flecken. We were 3-0 up. And that was a huge chance. The Dutch do deserve it there. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Yeah, so... Oh, come on. What have we got going on here? Eric Garcia into Doherty. Doherty feeds it forwards to Somerville. Somerville to Gretzky. Look over to the left. He doesn't. He feeds Somerville instead. Ignore me. I know nothing. Don't look at the player there. Play at Somerville, although it was saved. Right, Grealish with the corner to the edge of the area. Vitinha. No, that wasn't a foul. Okay. Somerville now. Can he create some space? He can. He sends the cross in. Shaqiri. Bean in the air by Shutlow. Shaqiri. Mendes just lets it go out for a throw-in. We are going to look to kill that time now. Let's get that time wasting up. We've still got 2 substitutes left. And that's going to see Guendouzi off and Papastathopoulos on in midfield. How good is his passing? He is a 10. Yep, that's what I want to do, is I want to rejig my defence right at the end of the game. I'm going to bring on Ben Rama. Oh, that's reset my changes. Ben Rama there. Have some fun, relax. They're not relaxed. Ben Rama is looking nervous. He's only got to play 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. Just don't do anything stupid. The substitution isn't ready to happen yet. We've got a chance down here. Shaqiri looks to end his contribution to the game with a moment of magic, but fires it over. Right, 5 minutes of injury time. Can we hold on? Look at that press. Look at that press. All 5 players up there. Somerville. Cross this to Garcia. Iheanacho to Ben Rama. Off the post. It's 4-2. I mean, let's give a hand. Let's give a hand to the Dutch there. Right, they were properly going for it. Properly going for it right at the end. That created some space. Iheanacho was able to find Ben Rama, just gently nudges it in right off the post. Beautiful stuff. Liam says, is anyone aware that Hugo Rodallega is still playing? Indeed he is. In your mind, he was a pure Barclays man and should have retired in 2018 at the latest. He's now, isn't he like 43, I think, or so? So whilst Tony Jameson was managing in Finland at the beginning of his last stream save, he signed Rodallega because he was astonished that he was still playing, but he is still going strong in real life. It's crazy. RJ says, do those very long Greek names have a meaning, like Antiskumpo or Papastathopoulos? It's a very good question. I don't know. I think, oh no, it's there is a meaning. I'm sure. Is it Opulus that is son of? There are certainly suffixes that have specific meanings, but I don't know the full etymology of names. We've got the win, our first win of the season. It's taken a little bit of time. We jump up to 4 points. Hey! Changing defence at the end of the game is very Amorim, says FM Jimmy. And like, there isn't a greater manager in the world than Ruben Amorim, right? So, you know, that's just the right decision to make. Let me just make sure that stuff's all working over there. It is indeed. Yeah, we've got to be happy with that. We finally have a win. We finally have a win. Will it let me? I'm surprised it doesn't let me go through to the next. Oh, that. Yeah, is that? I don't know which. I don't understand versus mode, but I think we are moving forwards to the next game. So we've got our results there. Is that treated? Have I somehow done some, like the instant result things come up? What on earth's going on there? Oh, and so there we have it. The Dutch drop down to 8th position, and that is combative skippers. That's hence the Pepe meme. But we have Tiki Press, who we just played there, has now dropped down to 5th as well. There are 3 teams on 4th. Zverachul now with 2 wins in a row, up to 3rd place, but it's allergy season, and Char currently fighting away for top spot. Emerson and Char right at the top there. We are at the halfway point. Is there 3 games? There are 3 games remaining. So we on 4 points. There are only 9 points left to get. It would take a lot for us to win this now. But we do still have to play these guys at the top. So we could be kingmakers. I'm sorry, Skip. I'm sorry, Skipper. Don't worry, there's still plenty of time left for you to jump ahead of me. But also, like, all the bottom half of the table, we are all fighting to avoid bottom spot, I think, and that pretty much is only we're going for it. Yvivon. RJ, what's EV? Oh, yeah, Vivon. Right, I get there in the end. Eventually. Now, we had a good first half, so I don't think we change anything for the next game. We will probably need to change things in terms of holding on for the next game. Let me GG Tiki Press. That was robbery. I'm sorry. Must apologise. I will moan for every game that we lose, and I will apologise for every game that we win. It's the only way to do things. Vivan, French style. Only goal survive. I mean, that really is. What is the goal difference down at the bottom's got to be looking pretty ugly. I mean, Skip, we are pretty tied on that. I've got the draw, which helps me out, but we've both scored 7. We've both conceded 12. -5 goal difference. I would like to point, though, to the mechanics, who currently are the lowest scorers in the whole thing, but joint top. 6 goals for, 3 goals against. That is some incredible stuff. Incredible stuff there. It's a very Parisian laugh. Absolutely. I love the French laugh. We just keep everything as it is, right? No point in changing. Let's submit and see how we get on against top placed Emerson and Allergy Season. Allergy Season are the dribbly boys. This was, if I could have any of the teams out there, I mean, technically, I could have said, hey, I want to be them, and I'll do that, but that didn't feel in the spirit of things. Allergy Season are the teams I would have wanted. I love me a dribbly boy, but they've still got big men. They've got things you can build around. I am not surprised to see them doing well. So yeah, see how we get a Mark Flecken there, Marcus Alonso. It's genuinely. I know that a lot of the multiplayer features are going to not be there in FM26, but I hope that when they return, we still get these weird oddities whereby the way it has to exist is it has to create unique IDs for players, and so face packs don't align, because it's wonderful. It's amazing. Look at Crescencio Somerville there. Does that not look like your 21-year-old Dutch winger, if ever you've seen one, right? Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. Oh, big news coming out. A detour from 3331 incoming to suit the name Beckham's diploma. It looks like Grizzly might be dropping his Enganche. That would be devastating, Grizzly. Devastating. Let's... I'm going to... I try not to vape on stream, but one of the byproducts of not having a break every hour is that it's a little bit... I've got to squeeze them in when I can. So J&G asked, have you seen the rumoured new gen faces that were leaked? They have indeed. So I will open this up. I'd love to know, what do you, for those that have seen the leaks, what do you guys think about it? How are you feeling generally? I will give my take, which is probably the one that no one wants to hear, which is like, I think they look better than what we've had in recent FMs. I don't think they necessarily look great, but I also don't care, because like, no matter what you do, they're not going to look like real players anyway. You can go down a stylized route and, you know, have something that deliberately doesn't look realistic, which would be the approach I would probably take myself. But then if you go too cartoony, does it feel very childish? You can't viably go down the AI route, even if we ignore the ethical questions that surround it. You've also got the financial questions that surround it, because you and I can use various generative AI to create images for free, which is great if that's what you like doing. Businesses can't. They've got to pay for tokens and licenses, and in a game that essentially has the potential to generate an infinite amount of images, depending on how deep you get, how big your database is, how many new gens are being produced each year, that is an infinite cost that could essentially exist there. So you'd have to either create some kind of system on a player level whereby once you reach a limit, you can no longer generate faces, or that you'd have to buy tokens off them. You'd end up in a situation where a game 3-4 years down the line no longer has the support from SI, so it will no longer allow that generation, and there'll be absolute outrage. It's just an absolute minefield when trying to put into place. But yeah, I get it. People want something that looks a little bit better. I think it makes so little difference ultimately, but I've never really cared that much around that side of the game. Those that do, at least for the PC, it sounds like you should be able to still explore face packs if you so want, and that seems like a pretty reasonable compromise. I might well still carry on drawing stupid little pictures. That will probably be my compromise. So G&G's not really bothered by them either. So Rich is just checking if your lovely friend Claire is still up for Stockport Ladies versus the mighty Sunderland youth side. It's going to likely piss down. I mean, it's the sacrifices you're willing to make, right? The absolute sacrifices. Rich hasn't seen the links. I'm surprised by that. The leaks. Oh, Somerville with a volley. We're 1-0 up, away from home against top of the league. What on earth's going on? Shaqiri aims for Jack Grealish. Doesn't get there. Ball drops. Somerville absolutely leathers through the ball. Keeps his head down. Beautiful technique. Drives it into the bottom corner. Through a crowd of bodies. Keeper had no chance. I did not expect that. So medical cars, not surprised given it's based on the ME, which I find more interesting. The top bar seems to indicate you can edit the playing career information, which seems interesting. I mean, so... Oh, Gwen Dozy, sire, take a bow. Tonali returns to Shaqiri. He flicks it out. Jimenez with a nice little cushioned header. Gwen Dozy, side of the foot. Actually, that was straight at the keeper. Muslera should be embarrassed by himself there. Oh, okay. I don't feel quite as good about that anymore. It looked nice at first, right? I'm going to guess that the edit icon is because if it's what were they saying? Someone was saying it was a version that was released to football players. I don't really understand, but I'm guessing it's a form of the alpha, and I guess the alpha comes with the in-game editor. So I'm guessing that was just some kind of in-game editor button. If we're talking about the same thing, that would be my guess. As Shaqiri looks to make it 3, drives it low, but it's wide. We're looking all right. We are looking all right for a change. So G&G saw FM Console post them on Twitter, not sure where from. They were posted up by a very, very angry man on Twitter. I'm not sure why he was so angry. My guess is that he's been kicked off the alpha or something, probably for leaking stuff, and then decided to go nuclear, but who knows. Yeah, bit of an improvement, but nothing major. I think that's fair. I just hope they've got women's faces okay. Don't want to give the misogynist another excuse to try and bully women. That's a fair comment. I wasn't that enthused by what I saw. I think the women regen's faces new gen faces looked a little more eerie than the men's do, but not by much. But I would say they were the worst. Liam says he prefers regens not to have faces. I will make their appearance up in my head. The quirky look of the regens take away from your immersion. Hopefully, because you have that option, don't you? You can in preferences, you can tick a box to say don't generate faces or don't show faces of players that don't have them, and hopefully that option remains for sure. Absolutely for sure. Which is fine for me as long as what you said about women's faces okay. To me, FM is not a graphics game, indeed. Nickname says you feel like a set of 100 to 150 AI gen faces would still be better than what we had last year and what we are getting this year, and wouldn't result in massive costs for SI. But Nickname, 100 to 150 AI generated faces would not cover all the players you would generate in a 10-year save at one club, right? Well, maybe about what you've, the moment you start to get those, like you move on, you'd be looking at like probably tens of thousands. And then obviously you need to have the varieties that match the different ethnicities and backgrounds of players that are going to be there, because if you ended up with everyone like being assigned randomly, like it's genuinely a minefield. As I said, I would personally prefer it to go down a stylistic route. I know it never will happen. Maestro, welcome in, sir. How you doing? Long time no see indeed. I hope you've been keeping well. Now, as I've been asking everyone, are you looking forward to FM26? G&G, an angry man on Twitter. Game's gone. I know, who'd ever imagine? There'd be angry men on Twitter, right? XX, no, I'm sorry, Rich. Now I'm going to be the angry man off Twitter. It is still Twitter. I refuse to refer to it by that silly and unhelpful name. Like, it's not a thing that you can search easily because it's just one letter. It's not you just don't say it. Oh, I was on it. Just bad naming. A bad name all round, right? Allergy season had a few chances right at the beginning of the half there. They're going to start coming back at us now, as we would probably expect. That's fair. Right, here we go. Oh, Okafor. That's a nice finish. Noah Okafor. Beautiful. Let's fire these guys up. Brant straight to the edge. First time on the volley. I think it might have taken a little deflection off Guendouzi on the way in, but it was still hit sweetly there. Let's have a look at the match momentum. So yeah, we did have that spike, but hopefully those little words of warning will result in the players focusing. Maybe not. Here's Basuma to Pedrosa. To Pedri. Pedri feeds Okafor. It's a good block by, I think that was Garcia. Okie dokie. Sends it in. Okafor once again. Feeds Madueke. Flecken with the save once more. What are we looking at going on here? Just Okafor has decided this second half is all about him, and fair enough, he's absolutely on one right now. So we're going to bring on Goretzka, get a little bit more energy in our midfield. We are going to pop you as a fullback, and let's say we've got some faith. Let's see if hopefully maybe we can get a bit more control there. We might need to bring an extra body back into midfield, but at the moment we are holding on for dear life. So Skip, 3 clear cuts and 3 half chances to score 1 goal. Your life of a manager. That is rotten. That is rotten, combative Skipper. Oh man, hopefully, surely your luck's got to change at some point, right? Liam says you remember playing Champ Manager 03 or 4. You signed by coincidence an 8-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. In your mind, he was a long, straight-haired centre forward, basically Nuno Gomes. I never noticed that option. Good time. Yeah, so there is an option in the preferences for it. I can't remember. I assume it'll be in the interface subsection. Can I open all of these? I know this isn't what you do during a game, but yeah, here you go. So show pictures of players and stuff who've been generated by the game. You can literally turn them off there. Right, back to the game. Here we go. Doherty with a shot into the side netting as Lera just watches it drift by. Yeah, so I mean, surely they've got to keep that in for FM26. I suppose we'll see. But also, so there's the other element, right? One of the things with leaks that is always so difficult, and it's like the opposite of the situation we have with the videos with the marketing videos that FM26 drop, right? So the marketing videos, we are going to see the game in its very best light. They're going to be using high quality computers with great graphics capabilities. We're going to have mock-ups that are perhaps maybe a little bit crisper than what we might see on most machines. Quite often when we get, oh, Goretzka, he's in behind, it's a lovely ball. Oh, Goretzka. Oh, what a ball over the top as well. That would have been lovely. It's all right, though, because Santi Jimenez is there. Shaqiri with the assist. Yeah, like, so when you see a lot of, like, the regen faces that get posted around Reddit for all of the FM24 cycle, like, yes, there are things that aren't great about the FM24 regen faces, but a lot of the ones that get shared around were clearly on computers at slightly lower end of the spec, so they looked even worse than they do for perhaps most players. And I would love to know, like, when you get leaks, I would love them to have to, like, put their specs down there as well. So is what I'm seeing going to be representative of it at its best? Is what I'm seeing going to be representative of it at its worst? Is it somewhere in the middle? But then that's me treating leaks like they should be marketing material. I'm always intrigued from that position. Right, let's get ourselves some more changes, and those changes are going to see Nuno Mendes on. They're going to see Matty Cash on. We're going to see Ian Nacho on, and Totino. Now I should probably use all the breaks up so we can kill time, because Boulaye Dia has pulled one back. Madueke deserves all the credit for the assist. We missed this one, so Atal plays it to Madueke. Nice little turn, drives inside, gets there. Oh, it's a Rabona assist. It's a Rabona from Madueke to set it up for Dia from 3 yards out. You can't complain about that, guys. Oh, you can't complain about that at all. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Can we hold on, though? We are going to shout to focus. It might have been too late. Here's Thuram. Shaqiri steps in. Shaqiri down the left-hand side. Can he waste some time? He sends the cross in. It's a corner. There are 5 minutes of injury time once again. Shaqiri's going to take it. It's going to be an outswinger. We told them to take in swingers, but they don't care about what we want them to do. And there, Muslera with the claim. Time wasting all the way up. Right, they're going to go short. The highlight has ended. Last few minutes. Could we have successive wins, or is Atal going to deny us? It's Shaqiri who comes away with it. Shaqiri feeds it forward to Iheanacho, though, doesn't really challenge. And Madueke with the cross. Noah Okafor, it's a 93rd minute equaliser. 3-3. What a comeback from Allergy season. Iheanacho, no effort to chase down that ball. Then Simican just plays it over the top. Madueke stayed high. Crosses first time. Okafor's there at the near post. No complaints whatsoever. No complaints whatsoever. It's been coming. It's a great comeback. 2-0 down at half-time. 3-3. And surely that's the end of the game. Fabulous, fabulous stuff there. And we have... Are we saying unlucky? No, we're saying we're not happy. We can't be happy. We're 2-0 up. We've got to say some mean things to them. So is that the last game? No, we've got another game going. The Dutch with a big win. It is Tiki Press's Dutch. 4-1 over Beckham's Diploma. Skippers 3-2 up coming into the end there. Pillagers has lost to the Mechanics. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I think I just played Emerson. Here we go. Can they hold on? Come on, Skip. 2 shots, 2 goals. Gotta love this game. I mean, that is pretty brutal. One of them is a penalty. One of them is a penalty, though. We've got just 21 seconds left. Kaminsky back to Evans. Are they going to break your heart? I hope not. I hope not. Milik, he's lost out. And there we go. Got the win. Beautiful stuff there. And so Coke, Diaz, Di Maria responded to Kramarich's early penalty. And that, I think that really squeezes things kind of tight. So Dutch will jump above us. He's on to 6. I'm up to 5. We'll see the score lines for the other Dutch and the Mechanics. I can't remember what they were looking at. Allergy Season on to 10. Mechanics, I think, 1. So they go up to 12. Pillagers lost, right? So we now have 3 points separate 3rd to 8th. It looks like it's a 2-man battle up the top there. We had some... No, there has been another draw that hasn't involved us there. It is getting very, very tight. Very tight. Who do we have currently? Currently, Santi Jimenez is the top scorer and the highest rated player in the league. That's all that matters. That's all that matters there. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So, allergy season. Just make sure it was Emerson that we were up against. Beautiful. Yeah, you've got to be happy with that, combative man. Got to be happy. What a game. Absolute. So I think, I mean, I should have known that this what we used in the league was going to be something reasonably good or reasonably so. Right, okay. I'm going to poison my lungs. I'm going to grab myself another drink. There's an ad. Well, it's already started. I will see you guys in a minute. Thank you, G&G. There always has to be at least one professional streamer moment, right? It wouldn't be a Musterman stream without it. Right, so I believe we are up against Combative Skipper next. It is your team. So the battle at the bottom. How are we going to fare? We have got... Oh, look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that look funky? I love it. I love it. We've got Raul up front. Di Maria, Diaz, Luis Alberto, Coke there. He's played with a back three, so he's got a little bit more height amongst his team there. Yeah, this should be a good matchup, I reckon. The battle, so the Combative Skipper just jumped up to 6 points. That's taken him above myself, above who dropped down to bottom? It wasn't the other Dutch, it wasn't Mechanics. Ah, well, we'll see at the end of the game anyway. But if we can win this one, we would leapfrog ahead, and that would do us quite nicely. Mechanics, there's Mechanics. Thank you, Combative Skipper. But not. We've got Mechanics top and bottom, which is beautiful. I still can't believe that they've conceded so few goals. Some proper good defensive setup. Love to see it. Love to see it. Medical card. Oh, it's yours. Medical card. Oh dear, dude. Oh dear. And you thoroughly deserved to. No, you did. Actually, did you deserve to win in the first game? No, you deserved. You should have been. You should have been away with it, like completely at the end of the first half. By the end of it, it was pretty even. No complaints about the win. But you started off with a win. Has it been loss after loss since then? Oh, that is brutal, man. That is cruel. Right, we are going to say, have fun. Have fun. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. This is 1 draw, 3 losses. Ooh. Ooh. Hopefully it turns around. I mean, this is one of the things with these Thompsons. Depending on who you're up against as well. Like, it doesn't take. You've just got to pick your moments to get your wins. You played the game against a weak team in myself, and you got your wins. Maybe a couple of results just round the corner. But yes, there are just 3 points separating third and bottom, which is crazy. Let's see how we get on. Got a highlight straight from kickoff. Send him off. Send him off, ref. He bottled it. Absolutely bottled it. Right, early momentum is in. Oh, that's confusing. So that bar means the home. Both bars there are going to be black. So we know we're the up bar. It's a little bit in our favour, but nothing major is happening really at this moment. But here we go. Here's the first highlight. Ball out to Shuttling. Finds Kirkish. Kirkish inside to Coke, but Tonali snuffs out the danger. Guendouzi playing almost like the extra centre-back there. Can we bring on Alonso? He's been off the pitch, obviously nursing an injury. Oh, it's a horrible error. A horrible error and a fantastic save from Jason Steele. Shaqiri's going to take that corner. He's going to swing it in and Steele again there. Oh, I mean, yeah, all exactly competitive. That was not as big a chance as I thought it would go down as, but we want our stats up here. I am so not used to the default skin. It feels so weird having so little information at hand. Right, here we go. Mazzocchi throws it to Alberto. Gets it again. Shot alone now. Takes it from distance, just narrowly wide. I thought Flecken might have tipped that round the post, but he hadn't got a touch on it. It's a nice shot. Nice shot. Rich, where is Quadmo tonight? Quadmo's at a wedding in Wigan. A wedding in Wigan. He's only able to do alliterative events at the weekend. So he'll have a gig in Grantham next weekend. He'll have a hoedown in Hornchurch. And I can't think of any activities. He'll go bowling in Buxton the weekend thereafter. Here comes the Dutch. Plays it out to Kirkish. Kirkish into Diaz. Luis Alberto from distance. That time it was on target. Flecken had to get there. Tips it over the bar. It's going to be a corner that Di Maria sends into the far post. And we managed to get it clear. So the momentum does feel like it's shifting. Going to demand a little bit more. And see if we can. But apparently we've had another 0.6 XG since I last looked, and none of them were highlights. I wonder what the chances were that we've missed there. We can't see XG shot map, XG story. Grealish with the header. Who in the earth expects Jack Grealish to win a header there? It's no surprise he can get enough power on it. It looks like we're heading in at half time for a draw. A 0-0. I don't think. I mean, I feel like. I suppose the Dutch's chances were both from distance, weren't they? Shaqiri sends it in. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Oh, there. He's at the JJB. Wigan's not that far, so ditto Buxton. So now we have an idea. Quite different places, they are indeed. Shaqiri, into the top corner. That's a great penalty. Shaqiri. They are quite different places, but we can now pick out roughly where you are on the map. I think I'm planning on maybe doing some save suggestion type stuff for FM26, and Buxton is one of the teams that I think we'll probably be looking at, because they do have the highest ground in England, which I think is quite cool. Jesus, is that the fourth penalty you've conceded? Oh, that is. I think I would like. Would I like? There is something about PvP allowing things like penalties that always feels weird to me, but it's part of the game. You've got to include it. But it just feels really, really cheap to win or lose that way. The Scribe says that they live in mud huts up in Wigan. Those are some fighting words, Scribes. Which I do know in Stockport, to be fair, yeah. I mean, okay, I should rephrase that. It now allows me to work out where Stockport is on the map, because my English geography is pretty damn awful. All two changes coming in. We've got Arnau Martinez coming on. We've got Vitinha coming on. And we turn the ball over straight away. Tonali drives forwards. Jack Grealish with a great chance. It's said offside anyway. Thankfully, that doesn't matter. His blushes have been spared, because that was an awful finish and a great chance to make it 2-0. Do seem to be, the highlights have picked up as the game went on. We will see what happens. Guendouzi, Grealish, not enough on it. Samville couldn't get in behind. Now there's a chance. Dutch come forwards and Diaz turns, feeds it forwards. Di Maria out wide to Kirkic. I thought he was going to absolutely spank it. He doesn't. Luis Alberto, all 5'6", winning the header in the box there. That's the second unexpected 6-yard box header won. We want to go to the momentum map again. It has indeed been in the Dutch's favour. So they don't respond well to me trying to fire them up. We should probably learn from that. But that said, if we get some highlights as a result, maybe it's worth it. They don't need to respond well. Jimenez's header, just about tipped over by Steele. Right, Grealish gonna take this, sends it in. That was a nice flat delivery. That's something I'd like us to see in future FMs, is being able to not just say where we want to aim our deliveries, but talk about delivery types for set pieces. Because that fizzing, flat kind of delivery, sometimes I want that. I want more control over set pieces, would be the easiest way to summarise. We are going to bring on Ben Rama as a right winger, and we're going to bring on Robin Gersons at left back. Just lowest rating and freshness. A little bit south of Manchester. The Guardian think we're the new Berlin. I mean, is that... as in, they think that you are divided by a wall? That you are now one of the most progressive cities in the country because you implement rent controls? That a fabulous baked good is named after you and confuses presidents into mistakenly claiming that they are a jam donut? I'm guessing it's all of the above. I hope it's all of the above. But here's Doherty, finds Ben Rama on as a substitute, feeds Jack Grealish. That makes us feel a little bit more comfortable now. Maybe Ben Rama... Well, Somerville has been good for us. He's had a bad game today. But Ben Rama with that cross, Grealish in space, sweeps it away, makes up for that awful offside miss earlier. Are we going to see some changes as a result, though, now? Luis Alberto loses out straight from kickoff. Grealish plays it out. What? Okay, and then we go back inside. Here's Gersons. Does a little spin, plays it inside. And this highlight is going to be... This isn't a... What? Di Maria with the elbow. Oh, combative skipper, your luck is absolutely rotten today. Absolutely rotten. What on earth? I genuinely... like, there's not even anything you can do for that. You don't see them sliding in. Just truly cruel. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be particularly nice now and make it easy for you. We're going to try and stretch you as much as we possibly can as a result. The Hoff is on the way. That's what it is. That'd be beautiful. And so there are a few vaguely interesting new bars and restaurants, apparently with a place to be. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing for sure. Lots of which are totally inaccessible to wheelchair users. That is always the way, though, isn't it? I can imagine how frustrating that is. He's only able to do alliterative events is wonderfully funny. Thank you. I try. Combative says that it did look like a red card challenge. Fair enough. I mean, maybe it's because of the setup I've got here for the stream, but to me, it just looked like they were standing in the same spot. I didn't see much of an elbow swing. But to be fair, Di Maria is the kind of player you do kind of expect to have those moments where he lashes out, right? Oh, you meant didn't. Right, I was going to say, that makes more sense to me. I don't think it looked like one. Here we go with the cross. And Jimenez just to rub salt into the wound. It's 3-0. Jimenez with his 5th goal of the competition. It's that man Ben Rama again. Just drives down that right-hand side, sends the cross. It's a wicked deflection. Falls into the path of Jimenez, who sweeps it home with his weaker right foot. It's weaker right foot, it has to be said. Right, we should probably look to make some changes. That's going to be Goretzka on again. We're going to finally give Matty Cash his moment. And let's get Chris Wood back out there. We haven't utilised Chris Wood well. We gave him the chances in the first few games. He kind of sucked. But let's give him another moment. As Robin Gerson misses, I mean, we do expect we should be reasonably comfortable from here on in. It's going to be very difficult to come back with 10 men, but there should hopefully be a goal, maybe a goal in it right at the end. A consolation at the very least. And could it be from this corner? Luis Alberto sends it in. It's flat. It's headed hard by Schüttler. It's a great save by Flecken. I'm guessing it deflected off the Dutch player on the way out. Very much not your day today. Let's have a look at what's going on in the league table right now. So, Mechanics look like they're sailing away to another win. Allergy season still hot on their tails. We've got Tiki Press up in 3rd, still technically in with a chance. He can get up to 16 points, but no, he couldn't. There's only one game left after this. He cannot win. It is literally a 2-horse race now. That would take us up to 4th, quite shockingly. But still, and if results hold, we would be safe from bottom. But let's wait until the games end to see whether that will be the case. And we can see Dutch formation there. Is there going to be a 4th goal? And is it going to be for the Dutch? Here comes Luis Alberto. Plays out wide to Kirkish. Back to Schüttler. Schüttler back to Kickers. Senesi now. Come on. Oh, now Martinez. Candreva flinks in behind Patinia. Oh, why is he passed it outside the box? It does come to Luis Alberto. Eventually, Flecken gets across. Flecken, I think he's had a really good game. That's like 3 or 4 good saves now. Has finally got pushed up in the rating there. Oh, Rotislav, sir. Thank you very much for the subscription with the Prime. It is very much appreciated. I do apologise. We don't have any fanfare at the moment. I'm in the middle of changing over the setup and currently the stream element stuff isn't running there. And now here we go. Let's level things up. Sandro Tonali. This is why he's in the team. Sandro Tonali, man that I think would cheat at why can't I think of words? Cheat at board games is the kind of player to dive in and make it 10 man apiece. So Nickname asks, do we know if FM26 will have online saves? So I believe that what they said is that a regular network save is still there. They haven't suggested that there is any return as of the initial release to things like versus mode, draft mode. Lovely strike from Sensi from from outside the box, fully 25 yards, a lovely daisy cutter right into the bottom corner. Luis Alberto, back to Kirkesh, just absolute acres of space. Shaqiri, that's not his position. Doesn't close down well. It's a nice crisp finish, 3-1. Could there be a late comeback here? So we haven't heard anything to suggest that draft mode versus mode, create a club. I know that's not an online mode, but there's nothing to suggest they're coming back. Certainly not for the beginning of FM26. But I suppose we'll find out in due course. I imagine if they were also considering getting rid of online mode, just a regular network save, that we might have heard by now. So I don't think that's on the cards. But you never know. You never know. Competitive, we can't buy a goal. You eventually get one, but GG indeed, my dude. Indeed, my dude. That was pretty rotten for you, to be honest. Penalty, red card. Very, very unfair. And that does mean we are guaranteed to not finish bottom. Yay for me. Allergy season with the win against Beckham's Diploma. We won against the Dutch. The mechanic off 5-1. Absolute thumping there. And then the Dutch destroys Eritrea 4-0. And we will be heading in to the last games. Does that mean I play the Mechanics, who are top of the league? Allergy season will need a win. Allergy season must win. If Allergy season win and the Mechanics draw, Allergy season need to win by at least 2 goals. I think so. They would then win on goal difference. And we're going to be without Tonali for this game because he obviously got sent off like an idiot right at the end. Grizzly 3 reds in 2. Oh my word. It's all going crazy. Poor old combative skippers had conceded his 4th penalty of the tournament. We had a red card apiece in our game as well. And now here we face, away from home, top of the table, the Mechanics. Managed by Cha-Cha, who has won one of these tournaments in the past. Cha-Cha is a formidable foe. I wouldn't hold out hope. Rich says, create a club is another thing to test. If you create a club in FM24 save, will it exist in FM26? A very, very good question. And that's one of those where my initial expectation would be that it would. I think, surely, because then it just replaces the team. That's definitely going to be an interesting thing to find out, have a look at. Right, let's head into it. I don't think there's anything specific that we want to change for this game. I think we just go in and hope for the best, right? Let's find out how Cha-Cha is set up and see if we can maybe be the kingmaker. I mean, in some respects, we possibly have, because we took those points off Allergy season already, and that is the difference at the moment between them being joint on points. Aurelian Too Many is roused. Always an interesting choice of words. Already an interesting choice of words. And so, Rich, do you have a Creator Club save ready to go to port on over, or are you thinking of maybe setting one up? Because that, if that works, that could be I was going to say that could be a really good and interesting workaround, but the database will be ported over as well. So you would essentially be playing with the ratings of FM24 players, which, isn't necessarily going to be as appealing to some people, I imagine. Let's go with what they recommend. Let's tell them, though, to relax. We are looking at a 3-4-3. Looks like Modric is there as a volante because he's very far ahead of the rest of them. It's certainly further ahead than I would expect for a roaming playmaker. We've got Šeško playing off the left wing. We've got Edin Dzeko, who absolutely ripped us apart in the first game. Let's see how it goes. Can we create drama on the final day? Straight from the kickoff, though, we've got a highlight. Šeško back. Now, Ljubicic, Johnny Evans, my favourite Balkan. And runs away from pressure. Goes back. Here we go now, Modric. No, they're constantly moving backwards. That's fine. Danger averted. What can we muster in this final fixture? Let's have something there. No, it's not. Hanko steps in. Šeško feeds Dzeko. We just can't mark Dzeko, can we? What are our marking ratings of players? Modric sends it in. We get it clear. Eric Garcia has a 14 for marking. Ahmed Odzic has a 13. So mark specific player. I don't have the aerial prowess to mark up against Dzeko either. And I mean, Dzeko's been running past us despite his lack of pace, so it doesn't really matter necessarily in terms of who we put there for pace. Here's Under to Ristic. Ristic back across, Flecken with the save. Right, let's try a fire up at 0-0 because it's been all the mechanics in the opening 10 minutes. I just really don't like being fired up. Frankowski with the throw-in. He plays it back. Here's Ljubicic all the way back to Johnny Evans. Frankowski once again. Ljubicic. We're just seeing the same pattern of players. And then Under is free, but he's offside. It's a nice little finish. Nice little finish. I'll give him credit where it's due. Right, so we can't really get it. I mean, it's been even in terms of possession. We're just not really able to create chances. I'd love to see final third passes or something to know whether we're only having the ball deep because we can't get past their 7, whereas we can hold it there. Or whether we're getting into the final third, but just our final pass itself is letting us down. As Ljubicic sweeps it away. Right, let's see. What's Papastathopoulos' marking like? He's not good at marking. He's not good in the air either. So, you mark Dzeko. You should be marking Ljubicic. That might well be the problem there. So we're going to pop you in as a trek. You on support. You can be more attacking. Let's see whether that changes. So Rich, you've posted a thread on the FM forums to ask the devs. It'll be interesting to see what comes of it. Although there's part of me that was like, maybe you shouldn't say something because if they haven't thought of it and it's a crazy workaround, maybe. But like this late in the development cycle, in the initial development, you imagine that if there is that possibility, they wouldn't be able to close it anyway now. Right, so comes another red card. Oh my word, really not going your way as David Hanko. Oh, what a strike! What a strike from David Hanko. Absolutely twatted it with his left foot there. Stanisic across. We just don't close out. No one, like Grealish tries to get across. He's got all the time to pick out his spot, and Flecken had absolutely no chance. So this is where we need to switch up, and we switch up. So if that's Strand, we're now going to Regent Street. Who drops in as a defender? Alonso does. Somerville becomes a left winger. Swap these guys round. Volante, you. Tell you to mark Ljubicic. tell you to be aggressive. See if we can claw something back. This has been a thoroughly one-sided game so far. We can see it in the momentum. We can see it in the stats. Here's Johnny Evans. It's 3-0. Congratulations, I think, are in order for the mechanics. That has surely sealed the title now. Grizzly, it's the Red Mist season. The end of they're all tired. They've played through. It's the final weekend of the season. They're all like, fuck it. I want to finish early and get sent off. Rich says you're wondering about if they can't because of licensing. That's also a fair point. But then, I mean, I imagine any licensing concerns would exist anyway for any type of porting the save forwards. So I can't handle their height, and I didn't put anyone really to help us in that regards defensively. Well, let's go back. Which players do I need to sub off as a result? So, Jimenez, Somerville, Garcia. Okay. So we were on Strand. So we've got Old Kent Road and Whitechapel Road. So that's the flat one there. So Somerville is coming off. Shaqiri is coming off, right? Go back to that. Somerville, Jimenez, Garcia are coming off. Somerville, Jimenez, Garcia. Somerville, Jimenez, Garcia. So that will be that way around. Shaqiri cutting inside. Let's see, can we mount an improbable comeback in the second half? It's not if we start like that. Not if we start like that. Ristic sends it across. Hanko with the header. Flecken gathers. Flecken's on a 6.4. I feel like he'd made a few decent stops. He has conceded 3 goals, to be fair. Can't really complain about that, can he? Right, let's see. Nothing has changed. We just can't get forwards, can't generate anything. Eden Dzeko. It's 4-0. That is surely game over. Ljubicic to Frankowski, sends it in. Eden Dzeko peels off his man like a veteran that he is. He just knows what to do in those situations, and that makes it 4-0. So we have played direct, we've played high tempo, we've played low tempo, we've played direct, we've played short. We've played with a mixture of blocks. Let's just go kamikaze. A bit more width on there. Hit them early crosses. See if we can, like, just a shot on target. We've had a shot on target. Yeah. So I suppose now that we know the mechanics of one, we might as well see what's going on in the other games at the same time. It would have been nice to have that kind of like reveal right at the end. Allergy season needed to win. They are currently 2-1 down, but they have pulled it back through Madueke. So it would all be, even if we did manage to spoil the party, it wouldn't have made a difference, potentially. But here is Sheshko. Mechanics looking for a fifth now. We come away with it. Wood feeds Doherty. That's a nice pass. Can he get the cross into the box? He can. Jack Grealish is the one to win the header at the far post, and that's easy gather. And the highlight is over. It's like the highlight looks like it's not over, but it seems to be okay. Oh, Luka Modric has gone down injured. That's a shame. Right, here's Goretzka. Doherty now down that right. He has been a threat with the last few moments. He's going to send the cross in. Chris Wood with his first goal of the season. Bum, 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 bum. Edin Dzeko. I've often described Edin Dzeko as the Joe Flacco of the football world. I mean, isn't that the most Joe Flacco performance? This is what he's been doing for the last 3 seasons. As he gets to a team, he plays like amazing. He has this one game where he'll throw for like 350, 400 yards. You're like, Joe Flacco still has it. And then the next game he'll throw for 170 yards and 4 interceptions. And you'll be like, oh no, that's why he's an aging veteran that can't hold down a starting job. I remember now. I remember. Here's Doherty, stings the fingertips of Livakovic. Do we have any more substitutions that we can bring on? We do indeed. Oh, Shaqiri trying something absolutely stupendous that didn't come off. Right, so we can bring off Marcus Alonso for Robin Gersons. He's going to become a wing-back. And we can bring on Gennaro Tino for Ahmed Odzic. He's going to play on this side as a trequartista. See, Nacho right, left-footed. Okay, no. So, advance forward, trequartista. So let's pop Guendouzi in the middle there. You on attack, you on support. A perfectly reasonable formation for the last 10 minutes of the game. Add Al Horford to that. What a player. I love Al Horford, man. Absolutely love Al Horford. I mean, I feel like the term unk was specifically designed for Al Horford, and I mean that in a respectful way. Here we go. Can our single centre-back formation hold up when that centre-back in question is slow and can't jump and is up against Edin Dzeko? I reckon it can. Do we have any late comeback from allergy season? Doesn't look to be on the cards at the moment. So we don't need to feel guilty in that respect. Stanisic curls it just wide. I mean, it was always starting to. I mean, when Grizzly said it's red mist season, it really is. There seems to be a lot of red cards. See here, Nacho. What a save from Livakovic. Just either side of him. That would have been 4-2, and the hope would have started. Right, Grealish sends it in. Papastathopoulos can't win the second ball. Here, Nacho now just spanks it in from distance. Just lob it in there. Just hit it high, hit it hard, and hope. Goretzka coming forwards. We've got Shaqiri. Shaqiri stings Livakovic's fingers. He gets down well, low to his right-hand side, tips it around the corner. That's going to be another corner. It's going to be taken by Grealish. He's going to swing it in. And again, Papastathopoulos can't win the second ball ahead of Riga. We again just absolutely punt it out wide. Oh, it's just the one red card, but 3 injuries. Okay. Right, here we go with the corner. Can we do it from the corner? Here's Gersons. Back out to Grealish. Grealish back to Gersons. It's another good save. I mean, if you only watched the last 10 minutes of this game, you would have thought that we could feel held done by. If you watch the first 80 minutes of this game, you'd say it's quite fair. Here we go. Another corner. Come on. So many corners. One of them has got to... Oh, my word. Dominic Livakovic is incredible. I mean, he has been incredible in FM for a very, very long time, to be fair. But what a save. What a save. Right, here's Shaqiri. Finds Iheanacho. Sadly, it's another save from... I mean, that was a relatively easy one. Grealish, last few minutes. Can we get a second? Just an additional consolation would be nice. Ever since we went to one centre-back, that was my mistake. I should have been playing one centre-back all along. A huge congratulations, Char. Absolutely sensational stuff. one point you'd conceded less than a goal a game, and I think that's going to be the case all the way through the tournament, which in PvP is genuinely a rare occurrence. Disappointingly, the Pillagers have jumped above us in the final table with that late win. I mean, it's an absolute thumping. They've just won 5-2. Yeah, they finished the season having conceded less than a goal a game. In PvP, that is an incredible achievement. I mean, really, genuinely sensational stuff, Char. Sensation. Unfortunately, Medical Car looks like he's going to be finishing bottom. Beat us in the opening game. And it's just been a very, very cruel time ever since. We're down in 6th. That seems fair. We only won 2 games all tournament. We were pretty damn poor. So that seems all about right. We've got the continues there. A huge congratulations. GG, Cha. It is Cha. I am now double checking. John Manager is indeed Cha. So let's just show. So Cha has just shown this in the Discord. Player detailed. I do not think I've seen this in PvP before. I know it's only 7 games, but Dominik Livakovic with 4.94 XG prevented. The man is both GOATed and also the worst goalkeeper of all time. How on earth can you have a such... like Medical Car, I feel so... Like, that's got to be sickening for you. Absolutely sickening to see him be so awful for you and yet absolutely incredible. But that is fantastic work. We can crown ourselves a champion of the final ever tournament amongst the community. Sensational stuff. Sensational. Right. And that's some good timing. We've got an ad coming up, so we'll pop to the ad and then we'll work out what we're doing hereafter. I will see you guys in about a minute. Thank you, G&G. Thank you, G&G. I do apologise. I said there's always one professional streamer moment. Let's make that 2. Or an appropriate way to end the FM24 cycle. As I was saying, let's play a bit of bingo. Seems like a fitting way to bring things to a conclusion. Now, if you haven't played bingo before, don't worry. Straightforward. It's that lovely little link in your chat. Pop on over there. It will take you to a lobby. Once I click start, There'll be a little countdown, and then you'll get a bingo card. It's completely unique. Your bingo card is different from everyone else's. It will contain different criteria on there. You'll have like competitions, you'll have nationalities, you'll have clubs played for. You will then get a selection of players, there's 60 in total. You get them one at a time. You get 10 seconds to decide whether they match one of those criteria on the square. If they do, you click on that square. That locks the square in. You can't undo it. You can't put another player there. If they don't, you skip. By the end, you hope to have filled all of those squares in correctly and get a bingo. And my word, we have some people who are rather good at this. They are bingo experts. And then you have idiots like me. So don't feel like you have to have this phenomenal amount of football knowledge. I will be at the bottom, making you feel as good about your lack of knowledge as I feel about mine. So it's all good. Better at explaining what specifically whilst I'm muted as well. And Savage is better at FM. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Last game did come in clutch. You did bounce ahead of me with a massive win right at the end. Rich is bad at bingo. I'm bad at bingo. I think it's all about just having a little bit of fun and realising how little we know about players' careers. Right, I'm going to give it about 20 more seconds for any late stragglers to join on in, and then we'll click the go button. Now, there's a slight delay between me speaking here at home and it coming through on screen, so I recommend heading over to that tab now if you don't have it open, because I am clicking start and the countdown will already be underway by the time you hear me saying this. So let's see what wonderful people we have in store for us today, and if I can remember anything about any of them. Like we start off with Xaver Schlager, and I already don't know enough about him. We're going to let that one run through. Now, Obafemi Martins, there's a championship manager legend. 20 pace, 20 acceleration, 20 finishing. What a player he was. Hey, Socrates. There we go. Papastathopoulos coming through. I don't think he matches any of these either. Was he at Roma? No, he wasn't. Ricardo Pereira. Surely he's going to be Portuguese. I don't actually know that with any confidence. Mario Mandzukic spent some time at Juventus, so we'll go with that one with reasonable confidence. Gerard Piqué must have won a Champions League, right, with at least one of those seasons with Barcelona. You got to feel confident about that. Lizarazu, was that right? No, he wasn't. Who am I thinking of instead? He might have been. Oh, now I'm confused. Right. That's an easy one for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Welcome in, by the way, Mayba. Lovely to see you. How are you doing? How is your evening so far? Right, Lavetti for Napoli. Ayoze Perez is also Argentinian, I think, so up playing for South America. Stan the man, Stilian Petrov. What a legend he is. It's such a shame that his son is a reform candidate. If Lamela hasn't played for Roma, he feels like a player who should have played for Roma, so that will count in my head one way or the other. Bobby Di Matteo, cracking player, absolutely sensational FA Cup final goal. Italian, we'll get him played in there. Emil Heskey should have had 3 Premier League titles to his name, but those rubbish players like Steven Gerrard couldn't drag them to such accomplishments. Fabian Barthez, was he at United for long enough to have 3 Premier League titles? Because that was during the Arsenal era as well, and Chelsea coming through. So I'm not actually that confident about that. We will let Ruben go. Freddie Ljungberg, I think that's going to be a skip as well. Marcus Llorente. Oh, feels like someone who could have won a Europa League. Same with Luke de Jong, to be fair, but I'm not going to play it. We've got plenty of players to come through. Pizarro was definitely around the same era at Bayern. Sergio Conceição is going to be another skip. Eva Benega is going to be a skip. As is Romeo Lavi. Oh. Chelsea won the Conference League, not the Europa League. That's the mistake I always make, so we can let that one go. Has Chiellini been managed by Conte? Surely he has. Surely he has. Lewandowski will skip. Hasselbank will skip. Christophe Dugarry. Oh, he could have won like the UEFA Cup in the 90s. But I think we've got enough players we can let it run out. Brozovic. Has Brozovic gone to Saudi? I'm saying he has. I might be wrong, but I'm saying he has. So maybe it's a beautiful evening. Been playing Talisman with your friends almost all day. That sounds like an absolutely wonderfully chill Saturday. Perfect. Perfect. Nicholas Jackson, that's a skip. Iliman Ndiaye, that's a skip. Christian Suani. He spent a long time at Girona, who haven't won a Europa League, so I'll let that one run through. Montiel. Montiel was at Sevilla for a while, right? Right, we're playing it. We're playing it. We're risking it. Campers might have been a better bet in that regard. So just one criteria left. Syria are Golden Boot. Surely there's going to be a nice, obvious choice come up at some point. It's not going to be any of these. Phil Neville. Angelo Ogbonna. Veron surely didn't top score in Syria, but Diego Maradona surely has, right? How did we get on? Well, sensational work there. Lavezzi, 45. That is 15 out of 16 correct. In second, we've got G&G. We've got Char Char in third. And then we've got Buzzed and Midgriz, followed by, oh boy. So, Jose Perez is not South American. I genuinely thought he was. Fabian Barthez was not. I questioned it when I played it, so that is my fault. And as we played later, there were the Neville brothers coming up. So my bad on that one. Now we are still waiting for maybe a little bit of Zeratul. He takes his time. He takes his time when he's not the one streaming. And then mysteriously gets a bingo each time. Perez is Spanish now, evidently, RJ. I always thought he was Argentinian for some reason, but I am wrong. Interesting that Lavezzi 26 is on there. Lavezzi came up in the selection. It's always nice when that happens. But yeah, so I mean, as we wait for Zeratul's results to come in, I suppose this seems like as good a point as ever to say officially farewell to FM24. And just Hullit's score comes through. Beautiful stuff. Hopefully, I say that we've been burnt before. We FM25 we were expecting to be playing a year ago, but I think we're on a better path at the moment. Certainly suggestions that we will be getting our hands on it relatively soon. And hopefully there'll be some exciting things in store. As you may have seen in the breaks, there are some ideas that I already have bubbling, but until we get the game, I'm not 100% certain exactly what we're going to be doing. But hopefully I'll be able to give some updates on that in due course. Yeah. So a huge... so Rich, you are Hullit11. Not sure how it named you. Okay, so I'm guessing that Lavezzi 26 is also the same situation. You've been given. It does like just a random player and a number. That's quite cool. And Zeratul is coming at 39. Fabulous stuff. Yeah, so that's going to be us calling it a night for tonight. Thank you all very much for coming along. A massive congratulations to Char Char. Sensational work winning the tournament. It's been really, really good fun. And yeah, I'll hopefully speak to you guys soon. Now, let's see. YouTube. That's a goodbye from me for now. Over on Twitch, we're going to raid out. But yeah, massive thank